All right, well, I wrote this song for Jobber Radio. You guys will probably hate it. I think it's probably the greatest thing to ever be produced in the world.
Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Wrestling podcast featuring Rom and Bomber and Rab and the one, the only, Peanut. Jobber Radio.
Do you have any YouTubers you actually like?
YouTube.com/Wreckless Eating.
I can't hear anything. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
That's his gimmick right there.
Great microphone.
What's going on, everybody? Jobber Radio, episode 17. We're back. I guess that's pretty much the best way to say it. 2 years, 6 months later, May 2013 was our last episode called "Make Me a Sandwich." But anyway, everybody's back. Not just one person, not just two. Everybody. We're talking Peanuts. Let's hear from you first. I want to hear what's going on. What's up, man?
Nothing much. You know, I'm at the moon, so if I'm a little bit delayed,
We are not doing that.
you know that's why.
Episode.
So
I will drop you from this goddamn call if you keep that gimmick going.
All right, so yes.
In remote location. Peanut at remote location.
Iraq reporting from the war.
Yes, but also, his mic is working, right? For once. Rab, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just happy to be back and hate Peanut some more. He ruins everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking forward to this all week, and Peanut fucked it up.
No doubt. Bad Zion.
Hello there. And if you, like you said, if you want to call me Rami, it's fine. No, like I would doubt even one viewer will understand that reference. But because this originally was an A2E podcast, so let's just get that out there.
Why do we even mention it?
I was about to say.
Well, I want there to
That
be
ship
some
has
context
sailed.
of who you guys are, but it was a wrestling music video form, and all of us made music videos. Well, two of us made good music videos. That would be myself and Bomber, and the rest of them tried very hard.
Thank you very much.
Wait. I would like to remind you that I beat you.
Made
Once.
videos.
I beat you once. I beat you once in one of these contests.
Only losers remember that. Just got technically I win. So
I beat you.
So that's where their nicknames come from. Myself and Bomber both have YouTube channels. Obviously, this is gonna be posted on mine, but he has one. You should plug that bad boy real quick, buddy.
Hey, that's for the end, man.
No,
Don't you remember how this works? I know it's been a while.
End though. Plug it now so I can put it in the description.
All right. Okay. Description. Yes. Job Squad Media. Check it out. Yes. Do it. I'm bringing it. It's bringing it back. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Doing a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff coming up. Trust me. Just trust me on that.
I don't know if I trust you.
But so yeah, we're gonna wait for that. We're gonna wait for the plugs. But for the people that have been listening to us before, that do know who we are, obviously it's been 2 years, 2.5 years. What has everybody been up to in 2.5 years? I know Rab got married right before we finished and wrapped up. Are you still married? That's what I'm wondering.
No, she
I am
him.
still married. What I've been doing mostly is listening to the old episodes of Jobber Radio.
The ones you're on. I remember that.
Oh yes, only the ones that I'm on. I don't. The ones that I wasn't on English about. And it will also be true about this one. As far as who used to listen, once again, it was just me and only if I was on the episode.
Okay.
This is really awkward though. You're still
Besides
married. I thought it didn't work out.
No, it worked out well.
Oh, then why was she sending me those kinky pics?
Ooh, okay now.
That was me sending you kinky pics.
Yeah.
Stop trying to
I thought she
cover
was
what was
rather
happening.
manly. That explains why she had a penis. It was you. All right, that makes him even sexier. So I'm down for that.
I thought you would have recognized it by now.
No, I haven't. I don't remember what you look like. I just remember that you wear glasses sometimes or something.
Sometimes. Still into baseball though. Are you still into baseball? Right? No? Yes?
Yes, I've watched baseball.
Ugh, it's boring.
I'm kidding. I love baseball. Fuck off, Zion. Baseball.
Yeah, no,
Golf.
things have been good. I'm married and got a great new job, which is why I don't have to record these things in the middle of the night at work anymore or something.
That's awesome.
And I make good money, and I
wow.
drive good cars, and
Threw out the money.
And I don't have to do it while whoring myself out on YouTube.
I thought that was Zion's gimmick, the guy that drives all the cars and got all the money.
I'm stealing it from him.
I resent the
infringement.
fact of everything that you said except for whoring myself on YouTube. I admit that is, full disclosure, a thing that happens. But yeah, I mean, for anybody, you said you're posting this on not just on, well, we're not posting on Wii, you're also posting it on what?
iTunes, just regular iTunes.
Okay, so anybody that catches us on there for whatever reason has no idea who the hell we are, which is going to be like nobody. But still, yeah, I run a YouTube channel called Wreckless Eating, and I make more money than all of you. So it's my new gimmick is I'm Mr. Hollywood, even though I'm probably like a C-list celebrity on YouTube. But hey,
G-list.
I'm still easily the most famous person that came out of our editing.
I would say, yeah. Well, yeah. Peanuts up there, though.
That's actually not true. Yeah.
Okay,
Because,
who I would want to know. So I would say Triple HBK because he's an editor for very good shows and whatnot on TV.
Is he?
Yeah, he edits. I don't know if he still edits the same one, but he was editing like a fairly popular show. I think it was like about like motorcycles or cars or something. But I mean, he was
Pimp
doing
Your
really
Ride?
well for himself for a time. Yeah, and The Rock is busy having like 900 children.
Wasn't that the one that went to jail? Who went to jail? Somebody went to jail, didn't
I
he?
don't think it was The Rock. As Kyle
No.
just got married, but he has kids and she has kids. So they're like The Rock literally became a modern day Brady Bunch.
I swear to God,
Well, I mean,
somebody went to jail.
Do you remember V2005?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he ended up being he's Drake. That's Drake.
The Drake.
Yeah, the Drake. He's more famous than you are.
Before.
That's actually Drake. That's actually Drake.
All I remember is that he took
Little
part
known
in
fact.
the worst Video Mania main events I'd ever seen. So that's
That was actually Drake.
nothing against him, but hey, he's Drake now, so that's cool.
He's Drake.
Yeah. I don't care about Drake, but still, technically, Rab, he's more popular than me, so that's awesome.
Yep, that's Drake.
Peanut, are you still like, I haven't talked to you that much lately. Are you still doing A2E stuff or moderating or whatever you're doing over there? Or MV Zone, whichever one it was? God.
I heard like half of that sentence. I'm terrified to speak.
What? Okay, what have you been up to in 2 years, 2.5 years? Let's just go with that.
Come on, bro.
Peanut?
Well,
Thank you.
I make videos for Jewish people. So I work for Jewish people. It's nice. They pay well. Just kidding. But yeah, life's pretty good. I really have no idea how I'm
Did he
coming
make
through
a
right now,
Jews are cheap
voice-wise.
joke just now?
Am I still on tape delay?
A little bit, but you're not that bad. You're a little fuzzy, but
And by
No.
the way, everyone, Jews are cheap.
He has no concept of a punchline. It's like, I work for Jewish people. They make a lot of money. No, they don't. And I'm also...
so
God.
okay. Anything else? Did you move? Did you like anything?
I moved since the last time that we were
No one
doing
gives a
this
shit about
2.5 years ago.
You
Yeah,
totally just hijacked Peanut's time right there.
No, fuck Peanut. I moved. Don't worry. By the time I'm done talking about this, then he'll get your original sentence. I moved from the downstairs to the upstairs apartment.
Really?
Go. Yeah, I really did.
Okay, not too bad.
What's your address?
My address is 127. Go fuck yourself.
Okay,
I almost got it. I've been trying to get his address for 12 years.
you're getting there. Okay, I guess it's my turn. I guess almost.
I'm sorry, real quick. Can you repeat your address? Like that didn't come up on Google.
Bummer. What's up with you these past 2 years?
Oh. I myself has also. Okay, hold on. Let me restart that. Rewind that.
Jerry, are you okay?
I
Jerry.
I have
myself-
moved, actually. I have moved.
I fucking hate you, Peanut.
God damn you. All right. Oh, he laughed. That's the shit. All right.
Yes. No, I moved too. I get a new job. I moved away from the beach. I no longer live at the beach, but I didn't go to the beach that often anyway. So
I had
fuck
no idea you lived at the beach.
Yeah, that doesn't
You lived
fucking
at the
matter.
beach?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I lived in Wilmington, North Carolina, right on the
Where
beach.
One Tree Hill's from?
Yes, One Tree Hill and Dawson's Creek, actually. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I don't want to wait.
Did you ever meet the Dawson?
No, it was before my time. That was before I moved there. I moved there right after they got done, I think, and while they were doing the
Did you ever
One
meet
Tree
One
Hill.
Tree Hill?
No, but my friend that I did some work for.
Ooh, I have a good segue.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! What's that?
No, there's no delay. Piece of shit can't even hold it together anymore.
He's still selling it.
No, because when I say something, there's like I get your responses like 5 seconds later. So I say
You
something,
shouldn't
there's a good
be
30
here.
seconds pause, and then you guys start talking.
God damn
Oh,
it.
you're just like, you shouldn't be here.
No, he shouldn't, because even
And,
I would
you know,
just.
I'm glad to be here. I'm
Anyway,
glad to be here. Thank you,
Yes.
guys, for having me again.
I fucking met people on One Tree Hill. Oh God.
I've never even seen that show before. I know my girlfriend really liked it, but I've never.
it sucked. It
Was a girl show.
Yeah, it was awful. My wife loves it.
Yeah. But yeah. So
I've seen
yes.
every episode.
So basically, we're all in a new place in our lives. That's pretty much where we're
You
at.
got me in the exact same spot I was.
No,
Actually.
no, you were downstairs. Now you're upstairs, right?
Yeah, but like in terms of life, I haven't really moved on much. I'm still doing the exact same thing I was doing before.
And are you enjoying it?
Oh my god, my life is the best thing ever.
And there you go. What does it matter? You've already
have,
beat. you're
no
right there.
problems.
No, untrue. Didn't you used to know Bob Saget?
Oh God.
I still know Bob Saget. Me and Bob Saget, we fucked each other. Like quite literally. He opened up and I slid right on in.
I don't know why, but I don't doubt that one bit. I don't know why.
Because he apparently is a germaphobe and he wouldn't like let us get close to him while we were filming. So
Wait, what? You guys were
Yeah.
filming like a wrestling thing though out there.
yeah, right? Like with the most dirtiest thing you could possibly
Yeah.
film. Yeah, no, we were told by the producers. I remember they pulled me aside to tell the guys, and they were like, "So Mr. Saget doesn't like to be touched. He has kind of a thing about germs. So if you're going to approach him, make sure that he asks you to approach him first."
What?
But I mean, you know, like we didn't have any problems when we filmed. He was super cool, and I never noticed anything wrong with him. He was really nice to everybody. But it was just funny that they were preparing us for this monster, and then you know you meet him, and he's awesome.
They made him sound like the Queen.
Yeah,
First
they
he
did.
should approach you. If he puts his hand out, then you put your hand out.
I mean, technically speaking, we got the same spiel when we did the Tom Green YouTube show. Like the producers, even though everybody down there, again, they're all super nice and there wasn't a problem, but we got the whole like, you know, don't approach him unless he approaches you. I think maybe that's just like a Hollywood thing.
Or that's like
tell-
a reckless eating thing. They're like, okay, these guys are fucking weird. We're gonna.
I don't know, because I feel like it's like they don't know us, they don't know you, so they tell that to any new person just to make sure that they don't like bum rush him. But like, who the fuck wants to bum rush Bob Saget? Fuck, like that's
True.
the last person I'd bum rush.
True. Tom Green though, I can see that any day.
Ah, he was
Well,
cool.
if it was Uncle Jesse versus
Uncle
Oh man,
Jesse.
never watched that stuff. I was more about the twins, even though it wasn't played. It wasn't a twin, right? What it was the?
Are you talking about the Olsen twins that were like 7?
Oh my god, they were so hot.
Dude. Okay. There, we go. There it is. And off the air.
no, I haven't even had a chance to say the N word yet.
Peanut will randomly drop it in.
No, he won't. I hope he stays quiet for the rest of this show. God damn it. So you're explaining.
We'll just
I
cut
was
him out.
trying
We'll
to
just
speak.
cut him out.
My mic was muted. My mic was muted. I didn't know it was muted. So,
How are you not dead?
but Bomber, I have a
Last
question
years,
for
how
you.
have you not died?
What's your question?
I was gonna say you got this new job. I saw on the Facebook that you were working with the Hardy Boys or something. That's something to talk about, right?
Yeah, I mean, I work at Fox. Yeah, it's Fox News, and they came in to do an interview because they were in Charlotte for Bound for Glory, and they came to promo the show. And Matt and Jeff came in. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I got free tickets to Bound for Glory.
I think didn't people outside get free tickets for Bound? for Glory?
Probably, but I mean, either way, they came in. They brought us tickets. I got like 3 DVDs, 3 Jeff Hardy DVDs. I got a bunch of shirts. I wore some in some of my YouTube videos. And I got like the armbands that Jeff wears, those little weird fucking things. I got those. But yeah, they came in
ones that the kids like reach out for.
exactly. Got some swag, and they were really cool. They came in, and I was running audio at that on that morning, so I didn't actually get to like go out there and talk to them, but I got some swag.
All of this sounds like it would
Oh, you
be
didn't
really
get to, like,
exciting.
mic 'em up?
10 years ago.
Yeah, dude.
When you say you work for Fox News, you don't mean like Fox News, right? You mean like
I think
Fox,
you mean local news.
local.
Oh no,
Fox.
it's Fox. Oh no, it's owned and operated Fox. I
Oh
work for
God.
Fox News.
Oh God, Rab, we have a problem.
Yes, sir.
Rab, yes, sir. Let's just say the reputation may not be the best.
I think Rab just logged out. He's done.
Yeah. May not be
Good
the
thing
most,
now I can step in.
but it's a good
There
thing
it
that
is.
Bomber can separate work from
But
crazy people.
No. But still, that's not Fox News. Even
Okay,
owned and operated. That's owned by Fox Television. That's not owned by Fox
Okay.
News Group, which is owned by News Corp.
Okay,
Which is a
I
whole
don't
different
work in
corporation.
New York. If that's what
Okay.
in that,
Okay. So we can still talk to you then and have a relationship with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all we wanted to know because Rab and I think we both share a true hatred for
I don't
the
like work
big
with
one.
Bill O'Reilly. I don't work with Bill O'Reilly. I think he's still on Fox. I have no idea. I don't watch Fox News. They're Fox News. But
Yeah. You do the local stuff. That's fine. That's
I don't
good
watch your Fox News either.
I don't watch news at all in general. I just watch YouTube.
I also don't live in Charlotte.
yeah.
Like, I can't. I mean, I would if I lived in Charlotte. Cause
I've only been
Imagine-
here since
I
August.
know you work
really
really
fun.
hard, so I would watch it. So support you.
Yeah, you do work really hard. Imagine like how cool it would be to meet Matt and Jeff Hardy 10 years ago.
That would be fucking insane. I mean, they were
Like-
still really cool, though. They were really cool.
I mean, lots of people are really cool when they have no career anymore. So
Bob
Wow.
Saget. We did that.
yeah, right. He had no career when we met him, but he was still pretty fucking cool.
I'm not going to lie. If you guys... I'm wasting my time saying this, but if you watch some of Bound for Glory, that...
No.
I know.
Hey, they lost their credit. I'd say about 5 or 6 years ago. You hear the arguments of it's really good right now, and then you try watching more than 2 minutes. I immediately turn it off because it's not good. It's fucking garbage.
Didn't they strip Matt Hardy of the
Yeah.
title
Yes,
after?
they did.
Because they had already filmed.
Yep.
I don't know
on
why.
TV shows.
No, Rab. He couldn't. He wasn't cleared to go overseas, and that's where they're going. So they knew he couldn't do that, and they still gave him the belt, and then
He's the
just stripped
hometown
him
guy,
out of no. Oh, I don't fucking care. Don't. That's like Austin beats The Rock at WrestleMania on Raw. We got to strip him. He's just not champion anymore. Why? Because. Are you fucking dumb? Like, what?
Because he's not here no more.
Oh my God, seriously. Like, that's their imagine WrestleMania match finishing, the guy winning the belt after this long struggle for it, and then just being stripped the next night on Raw, and really no mention of it after that.
No, not the next night on
Well-
Raw. Stripped on YouTube.
He's...
Which I know
oh, God.
he got stripped on YouTube.
He's included in the tournament to
To lose.
challenge for the title again.
Yeah,
but
to
I mean,
lose. Because
yeah.
he can't win, because he can't be champion right now. It's so dumb. Let's talk about that first.
It was a
before we
cool
get into
moment, though.
anything.
It was cool. It was
No.
really cool.
No, it wasn't. Because in my opinion, EC3 is the future of their company. Well, okay.
They don't have a future. Let's be
hold on.
honest.
Yeah,
They
let's
don't have a
rephrase that. He was the current interesting part of their company, and instead they sidetracked him for a novelty gimmick. Because that's what Hardy is. I have respect for what they've done, but Matt and Jeff are both novelty gimmicks at this point. That's like WWE putting like the belt back on like Ric Flair or Hogan for a run. It's pointless. It doesn't help anybody. It's like, sure, it's a cool moment, but how is that going to help your business out?
I mean, if you look at it, the Hardy Boys are the biggest names in the company still
Yeah,
right
sad.
now.
That's sad. That shows how horrible that company is, though.
They are. They. I'm not gonna lie.
let go of everything except for novelties. That's horrible.
They are bad, but I'm not gonna lie. The show was pretty decent.
Yeah, it's too bad though, because I'm sure there's a lot of homeless people out there that could potentially fill good spots in America's job system, but they're homeless, so that's that.
The Ultimate X match. I don't know if you get a chance. If you watch it, just watch the Ultimate X match. It was pretty damn good.
I
don't know
care about-
anybody that was in the match, but it was good.
I don't care about any Ultimate X stuff because I remember when they had Bischoff come out and be like, "Yeah, we're not doing X matches anymore. Like the X division's dead, so we're just gonna focus on all of Hulk Hogan's friends." That was when I was like, "Yeah, no
Here
thanks."
comes Horace.
Oh my
my
God.
God.
Here's Orlando Jordan to make you really uncomfortable. Even though you have no issue with gay people, he's gonna make you have an issue.
God.
Oh, it's just so bad. Yeah, how much longer do you guys think they have until they're completely done?
Every time you think, I would have said like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I would have said 6 months ago for
Yeah,
sure.
well,
And
okay. See,
hold
but
on.
the thing is, I mean, so as you guys know, I live in Miami. In Miami, you have a lot of Cubans. So, and I assure you, I'm going somewhere with this.
I hope.
So you have a lot of these Cubans who come over from Cuba. Let's say they came over during the Mariel, which was about 30 years ago. They came over with nothing, and they built these companies. They actually made something. So they came and they're not big companies, but it's like, he runs a refrigerator company, and but he makes good money. He makes millions of dollars. It's how air conditioning, all these different things. And now they have some stupid fucking kid, and the kid has graduated from high school and college, and they've just pushed him. But the kid is useless. So what do? You pass the company that you
He's Peanut. Sorry.
You pass the company that you work so hard to build. You pass it on to your kid just so your kid can just fucking fail it. No, you give him a little novelty thing to do. Like I have one guy I went to school with, and he's in the exact situation that he runs like a magazine. That's right. Like his dad gave him money so he can open a magazine.
Oh, that's the worst.
In the year 2015.
Yeah, where it's like
all these things are just falling apart. But it gives him something to do so he can't fuck up the company. This is why TNA exists.
Yeah, but then they
Panda
finally
Electric
lost
is
their
a
funding,
real
though.
thing.
They finally lost their funding though. Like they don't even have the money to humor her anymore. Like that's how desperate they're in situation they're in right now.
No, there will always be money to make sure that she doesn't fuck up and something that's actually important.
I'm gonna throw it down right now. They're dead within the year. It's like this is like
I said that about Dave Bautista, and now he's gonna be on fucking
Dave
the
Bautista
007.
is one of the most successful people to leave that company. So you dropped the ball. That's why I don't trust your prediction.
I specifically said that Dave Bautista was going to be dead. He was in my death pool.
He was
we
your
had a death pool.
I remember.
He was
Nobody on our death pool
Dave
died.
Bautista. No one did.
Right? Who did I pick? I don't even remember.
I think you picked Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah, I did because that was a good bet. How the hell is he still alive?
I don't know. I picked China. I thought I was in the money too.
Is he?
Yeah, they're all still kicking. That's really unfortunate. And like good people have died since then, which is like Piper going out was a huge surprise.
Yeah.
Well, Piper was
insane.
super old and cancery.
No, but he wasn't super old, and it wasn't cancer that killed him. It was neither of those things. It was cardiac arrest in his sleep.
I'm just saying, I wasn't surprised.
I was pretty surprised
because he.
No, but he hadn't been in bad health. He had beaten cancer completely. They said it was completely out of his system.
Saw him.
No, he looked fine considering all the drugs that he did back in the day. Flair should be dead.
Flair.
I think Flair might have been one of my other picks. I don't know how the hell he's still alive, especially with all the crying and stress he puts on himself when he's on Raw.
I know who we picked. Who did Peanut? Who'd you take?
He doesn't remember.
Do you remember?
I have no idea.
I remember Arthur. I don't remember if you picked one or not.
Yeah, I'm sure he did, but it was,
I probably tried, but my mic was on tape delay, so it didn't come through in time.
Shit.
So,
all right. So then, what are we going to discuss today, gents? I know Bomber had this whole thing planned out.
Oh, I had
It's the worst podcast.
That's pretty much we went through.
We
what I
asked him, and
out.
he was like, "Oh, we're just going to talk about what we did. Yeah, we're going to talk about what we did for the past 2 years."
Yeah, and we were going to talk about like
See, when I was
highlights.
running things, we had things to talk about.
And
Who's the best?
Okay. Anyway, we were also going to talk about big things that happened in wrestling while we were gone.
Oh, okay. Well, do you have like a list?
Do you want to follow up on the WrestleMania 29 Fallout?
Yeah, the last show that was posted on Wreckless Eating.
Yeah, I mean, so many big things happened though. I mean, so many very controversial, like the Hogan racist shit, the Roman Reigns stuff, all that.
The biggest thing that's happened since we left, which I predicted, is the growth of NXT.
Yeah.
See,
yeah,
that's a good prediction I had. I was on top of that. I was saying everyone needs to watch NXT.
That's true.
And it blew up, and I think I did that.
You did it.
I did that through this podcast.
You know what's weird is that they lose money on that. That apparently they're in the red. I was watching the special and they were talking about it and saying that they lose a considerable amount of money, but they feel like it's good for long-term business because it makes new stars and whatnot. But I mean, it's true.
It's a prestige product, basically.
Sounds like ECW.
Yeah, I mean, it gives Triple H something to do until Vince dies, because that's like Vince will not step aside until he is dead.
Oh no, no.
Which is dumb because I mean, come on, we can all. I think we were ranting about this in the past. Like Vince could be no more out of touch than he already is. He has no idea what's going on anymore. He literally does not understand wrestling in this day and age.
When's the last time he's been on TV though?
He doesn't, but he still runs it 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying from a creative standpoint, he has no idea what he's doing anymore. Like, do you guys heard the New Day story? Is one of my favorites. That's
What's up?
Okay, so New Day, very over right now. Probably one of the best things, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, they're brilliant.
They're good. Yeah.
And that's because they're just being themselves. They get to just be turned up version of themselves. But on their podcast with Jericho, they had a story where they were talking about when New Day first came in, they were awful.
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hated him.
Oh my God, hated him so much. So they said that when they originally did the turn, remember on Raw they were going to do kind of like a racist gimmick, which I thought would have been kind of interesting. But then a lot of the racist stuff went down, like the riots and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they had to cancel it. So they show up maybe, what was it, like 3 months later out of the blue, all of a sudden they're a team again, even though Kofi had been doing singles. And so they're a team. And he said that Vince had approached him and said, I want you guys to do this gimmick here, where it's basically like the gospel, the three of you, the gospel guys coming down to the ring. And Vince claimed it was going to be the biggest face gimmick ever created.
Like legit, he really thought that.
This is from Xavier Woods was talking about it, and they were laughing because when they heard him say like what the gimmick was, they thought they were going to be heels because they're like, if we come down like that, people are going to hate us.
Yeah.
And Vince thought they're going to be over just like bigger than Austin. He said they're just going to be huge. Like, he had so much faith in this gimmick. He said they're going to be the biggest face team like of all time. So they do it. Everybody hates it. Not naturally. It was awful. I mean, it's just absolute crap. So what they did was, to get what they wanted, when they would come down to the ring, they just acted like heels. Even though they were told to act like faces, they just started doing stupid shit. And it got over. So eventually they had no choice but to turn them. And they said there was one night where they came down as heels, and the crowd gave them a huge reaction. So like they were really, really giving them a push and really getting behind them. And basically they're over now. Everybody loves them. Mm-hmm. They come back to the backstage, and they said Vince was crying a little bit. They said he had a tear running down one of his cheeks, and they're like, oh, they thought he was happy about it. He was actually really upset, and he said that he couldn't believe that he got that so wrong because he thought the original gimmick was going to be so big.
And he legit cried over it?
Yeah, he was emotionally upset about it. Instead of being happy that they're like as over as they are now, he's just regretting the fact that sending 3 black people out there as gospel singers didn't get over. This is Vince McMahon.
He sounds senile if he's back there crying about that.
Yeah. I mean, you've heard he's blind. Like, people have said he can't see anymore. There was that ESPN thing, and if you go back and watch it now, it's really interesting because there was that part where they were filming him walking towards the interview, and he was like almost bumping into things. And they were talking about there's rumors that when he's backstage, he needs people to like grab his hand and walk him around because he's almost completely blind.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So how the hell do you run a wrestling company when you may or may not be completely blind?
Oh my God. I didn't hear any of that. I haven't heard any of that.
Yeah, it's all podcast stuff. Like if you listen to like Austin's podcast or Jericho's, a lot of that stuff.
I listen to a good amount, yeah, but I haven't heard any of that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean I haven't heard about that in a while. There was a rumor probably around the summer, if I remember correctly. The whole Vince McMahon is blind shit.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you don't see him on TV anymore, so
yeah.
I mean, I think it adds to it because he wouldn't be able to walk down to the ring, and if he did, he would just kind of pick a path and hope to God he made it.
I can see him strut right off the fucking ramp. Power walk.
Damn it! Why is the ring not here?
Yeah, they're moving the ring according to where he's moving. Just pick it up and move it around.
Oh, God.
Oh man, he needs to go. I respect what he's done, but he needs to go so badly. Imagine WWE as NXT quality.
I just need to just get Sami Callihan up, man, or Solomon Crow.
God, he's terrible though.
I haven't seen him.
I know he's your boy, but he's awful.
I haven't seen him on TV at all.
Rab, like, isn't he one of the worst guys on NXT?
Yeah, he's no good. he was really cool when he first came up.
Yeah,
that hacker thing. I didn't like that. I
like the hacker thing because it was different.
It was different. Well, and that's what NXT is about. NXT is about like different shit. But that's the other problem. You have things that work in NXT that don't work on Raw, and
true.
And I know a lot of it's misuse. Emma was a big example of that.
The vaudevillains are going to do awful when they get called up.
Tyler Breeze too.
Where though, I actually like him on Raw lately.
Yeah, but like he's getting like all kinds of like gay chants and everything like that.
Yeah, Because he's gay. I mean, like, right? I'm not the only one that sees, like, his gimmick is he's gay. And he just secretly doesn't know it.
His gimmick is he's beautiful.
He never got that. He never got that in NXT though.
Well, because it's different, though. It's more intimate. They actually know all these people. Like, if you've ever been to an NXT event, like, a lot of times, well, the one that we went to, they were out there, not before, because it was security risk, but they all came out after the show, and, like, while people were leaving the stadium, they were just, all the rest was just chilling outside talking to people. So I imagine that the Full Sail probably has a really intimate relationship with a lot of them, and that's why they get over so well. It comes off really well, but WWE, it's just like, oh, he's wearing, purple, he's gay.
Well, I mean... Yeah, it's a big part of that. It's a big part of, you see everyone built up, and Emma was a good example of that, where she's got bubbles, and then everyone's getting into the bubbles, and then she shows up on Raw, and no one's even paying attention, much less watching her pop some.
Sorry argument though against that though, because you left out a really important part. They fucked her when she got called up. Because they didn't just bring her up and have her be, Emma, who everybody really liked and everybody could get behind. Because I thought her NXT character was very similar to Bayley. Just very likable. So, like, girls could get behind her, guys thought she was hot, so it all worked out. But then they call her up, and they still had her do her entrance one time. And then they dropped the and then they put her with Santino, and that was it.
Sure, but it wasn't going to work anyways. It wasn't going to work.
I disagree, though.
A good example of it wasn't going to work? Rose. Because when Rose came up, they tried not to do the same. They tried not to do the same thing.
Adam
Rose.
Yeah, I was wondering for a second too.
Adam Rose. It was the same nonsense because a big part of his gimmick was just his entrance, and everyone likes his entrance. He comes out, and he did it like 90 times on Raw, and no one gave a shit.
Well, because he's awful, though. I mean, he's just.
But that works on NXT. I never like a lot of those people like Adam Rose. I never liked him. I didn't like him when he was Kruger before that, but a lot of those things work on NXT and they don't work. And the Vaudevillians, like you said, is going to be a perfect example. If they bring up the Vaudevillians, they will crash.
Yep.
Yeah, they will. But
Same like Victor and Dipshit.
Really like them a lot. But I just don't see it translating. But at the same time, like, they don't treat any of the NXT guys with respect when they call them up. They like their very first match, they kind of give them a little bit of a rub, and then after that, they just become cannon fodder for Sheamus or whatever.
I mean,
that happened to Xavier Woods.
And Neville. I mean, Neville has just been treated like crap. And it's funny because sometimes it'll be like one Raw out of 3. They'll give him like a win and treat it like, this is the biggest star. And then for 3 Raws, he's just losing to people and not getting entrances. And then he does another Raw. And, this is Neville. Look at this video package. Like, what the fuck is going on with this?
It's really weird. Still feuding with Stardust?
He's not feuding. Nope, that's done.
No, he's not because Stardust is with Cesaro now. He's feuding with Cesaro.
Yeah, he's feuding Cesaro. So Neville just gets laid out by people.
He was just in a tag team match with the Arrow guy. And
I was about to say he can fight the Arrow again, or with the Arrow again.
With the Arrow, yeah. But things that they're doing right is something I kind of wanted to talk about because a lot of times I get told I'm too negative.
I don't want to hear about anything that's good.
I think there's plenty of things that are really good, but I think it's things that are good despite them wanting them to be good, which is really funny. Because it's like I get hired to a job, any job. Say FedEx calls me and they're like, we'd really like you to come and do a good job packing our cars. I go, okay, cool, I'll take the job. And I show up and I do really great. And then I get like 2 weeks in, the boss comes up and goes, you're doing way too good of a job. We didn't anticipate it, so we're going to let you go. And that's WWE Raw. So here's the example. They have like Neville first and foremost it's a great example. Like he comes in getting awesome reactions, right? Like people really liked his high flying. It's similar to Evan Bourne. Gets good reactions. I can see why he crashed. He doesn't have great personality, but he was still doing good. So they just had him squash out. Another good one, Owens. Owens debuts against Cena. Granted, he was against Cena, but he was getting like unbelievable reactions. For someone that has just debuted. Had him lose to Cena after the 3rd match, and then he fights right back. And granted, they gave him the IC title, but who cares about that anyway? But they just completely halted him. They were rumoring that he was going to fight Brock at SummerSlam, and then they just kind of that's the end of you. Or New Day. New Day started to get over. They didn't really respect them until recently, and that's because they have to because so many people are hurt.
They're one of the top groups in the company now, people in the company right now.
Yeah, but I think they don't have a choice because their tag division's fucked without it. Yeah. But I guarantee because they didn't build the New Day, give New Day 6 months and they're going to go right back to being jobbers. All 3 of them. They're just going to break them up.
Yeah, I mean, There's a decent chance that happens. There's a very decent chance.
Mizdow is a great example. Like, that's a guy that they obviously had no respect for, and then he went out and made an asshole out of himself, but it was fucking awesome and hilarious.
Yes.
And then they broke both of them up. And what are they both doing now?
I hope The Miz is fucking himself in the ass because I do not like The Miz at all. Never have, never will.
To people on TV, not doing
Yeah,
anything.
he lost on Raw.
Yeah.
He'll lose
someone who did a
every
sharpshooter,
match.
right?
No, here's the thing about The Miz. He'll lose every single match, and then he'll be in the Intercontinental title match. That is every single time.
True. He's kind of like a lower quality Jericho, because like Jericho would always lose a lot, but then they would put him when they needed him.
Never compare Miz to fucking Jericho.
He is though. I mean, they're very
He's
identical.
basically Jericho. They have the same haircut.
Yeah, it's true. But like Mizdow, he's not even on TV anymore.
He's
What
like
was the
Macho
point
or
of
something.
breaking them up? If they had this hot act that was probably selling decent amounts of merchandise, or at least, the very least, it's something fun. They break them up, and you think, oh, something's going to happen here, and they just broke them up for no reason. It didn't lead to anything.
Nobody thought something was going to happen there.
No, but that's just it, though. Why break them up then? What's the point?
I mean, they were going on for a while. I was watching pretty deep into the show when they were doing that, and they were going for a while.
Yeah, but again, why? What's the fucking point? Even if you're just going to put them on like main event and stuff, just keep them together. There's no point in breaking them up if you had no plan for either guy.
But the way their angle was going, you couldn't like keep it going because you knew Miz was going to get at a break point eventually with Mizdow like taking the spotlight from you. They had to like that's kind of an angle that they had to like do something.
Yeah, but again, they went nowhere with it.
True.
So,
oh yeah, I agree.
I think they've milked like the Usos should not be fucking together anymore.
No, if
It's my
Usos
God,
aren't together,
boring.
they're done. Usos
They're so
are
boring though. No, but they had a chance when I can't remember. Jimmy J. We'll just call them both Jimmy J because I don't give a fuck about their individuality.
Okay.
But like one of them gets hurt, and so they have this built-in storyline where a lot of people don't really like the girlfriend of the one that was left. What's her name? Naomi? Was it Naomi?
Yes, Naomi.
Okay.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Why didn't they just push him as a singles with her as the manager? And like instead, they just put him on main event for 6 months. Why didn't they try to do something with him? Worst case scenario, partner comes back in 6 months and you put him back together. But like he just vanished for 6 months. Why?
Well, because he can't do it.
Why not?
Usos
heard
they
him
only work together.
promos.
The Usos only work together.
See, I call
They only
bullshit
work
on that,
together.
though. He's a part of the Samoan dynasty. Like the Samoans
I've
are
seen
known
him
to
wrestle
step up.
I've seen him wrestle. They
Then fire
only
him.
wrestle well together.
Then fire him. I don't
Why
like
fire him? No,
Why-
you need
yeah, but why
tag
are
teams.
they-
They need them.
Why are they keeping? No,
They're not a bad tag team. They're
fucking
boring
need
as shit, but they're not bad hands.
They have all these people that they keep on the roster that they refuse to use intelligently, but yet they'll keep them just because, well, we're just going to keep them. Why don't you just get rid of a lot of this? Like, remember back in the day, they would purge. They don't purge anymore. And it hurts the show because they could just purge a bunch of people, call a bunch of new people up from NXT, raid a bunch of indie talent, way more than they're doing, and fill their roster back up with people that can actually work then.
Sure, but Usos are not a good example of that.
Yeah, then
always
fire
need
them.
a-
I mean, I hate
you
them.
know,
I don't
shut
like
up.
them. Get rid of them.
They're not bad. They're not bad wrestlers.
I'm with Brad on this. I
Decent
think
tag
yeah.
team. They're super boring, and I don't want them to hold a title or anything. But you always need someone. There's always been people like that.
Well, look at it this way, though. How would you know? Because none of us would know how he would have done on his own. So it's like saying the same logic is Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, okay? Like a lot of people, when they broke up, they actually were still kind of a popular team. But they saw something in Michaels, so they gave him a chance to run with it. If they had given him a chance, one of the Usos, to do something other than be an Uso, and he fails, what really got hurt?
They used to have one of them in single matches.
No, but they did, but they were still a team. I'm talking about let him break off into a completely different gimmick. He had 6 months to do whatever he wanted to do, because obviously his partner wasn't coming back in that time. So give him a chance, but like, why even keep this guy in your roster if you're just gonna do fucking nothing with him for 6 months? Like, I feel like if they're gonna keep these people, at least give them a chance to shine, and then when they shine, don't fucking hurt them for it. Like Mizdow.
I think they should have gave him some single stuff to keep him in the rotation, but I definitely don't think they should have fired anybody between those two.
No, I don't think they should either. I'm just saying that they keep all these people on the roster and on like these paycheck people, but they're never going to use them. And if you're never going to use somebody, let them go. All you're doing is just having them sit at home waiting to get that call that, hey, we might use you. Like Brad Maddox, I know he had like a meltdown talking about how he wanted to just get back on the road. He didn't think they'd ever do it, and they finally put him back on house shows. It's just like I miss that it was okay. It's okay to fire people, And they seem to think that in this day and age, because of Linda's campaign, they can't let people go. But like, that's what keeps wrestling fresh. Not bringing back the same names over and over and over again.
Well, they're done with the campaign crap, aren't they?
No, but they still don't fire people unless they fuck up. They'll fire people in developmental, but when's the last time they released somebody on the main roster?
I don't know.
Yeah, it almost never happens.
Yeah, it's years. And it's just like,
can't think of it.
doesn't make sense. It feels crowded, like Ryder. I love Ryder to a degree, but after they crushed him after he got over, like, why does he even have a job there anymore?
He has no reason to be there right now.
No, I don't know. I know my point like shifted, but there's so many problems with them that annoy me to no end. And I was trying to do like a positive talk.
No, I mean there was a lot of positive there, but somehow we got on the Usos are assholes, but
They were on Raw and it annoyed me. It annoyed me that they treated them like a big deal when they came out for the main event, and then they just kind of fittered out and got pinned, and that was that. I was like, well, why did you treat them like they were a big deal? Like, they even had the heels in the ring going like, oh my god, that's the Usos, and then they just lost. Like, they should have been on the team that won, for sure.
The Usos were pretty big before they went down right there at the end. They were.
But why have them lose? They came off like big deals that are losers.
Look. When I say Us,
Gosh.
No, I say no. I say no. I just feel like they need to protect talent a little bit better. Well, not even a lot better, because they have so many guys that have gotten over on their own accord that it just ends up being like a punishment. Like, how dare you try to stand out and be different? And then Vince goes on Stone Cold's podcast and goes like, oh, well, people need to take chances. And then he's like, in one sentence later, don't piss anybody off, though. Like, what the fuck? You're a fucking old senile man.
That pissed me off. But
it's not good. But
Heath
Kevin
Slater is still being paid.
Seriously, how the hell is Slater still being? I think McIntyre was a part of the last group that got purged.
Ooh, that's
Yes.
right. Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
Him and when they finally let go of JTG.
Yeah, the group finally actually was getting over, like kind of like in an indie. Like,
didn't
an
he
indie
call racism
status?
JTG? Didn't he call when he got fired?
No, JTG.
JTG had the best tweet when he got fired.
Yeah, I shouldn't have picked up the phone.
Yeah, damn, why'd I pick up the phone?
Nice.
No, I don't remember if anybody said anything about racism. I think the last person that claimed it was it Abraham Washington?
Oh God, he got like a
I completely forgot about that guy.
Remember how annoying he was?
AW.
He was the worst.
I mean,
AW. He said something stupid and they fired him for it. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, and then he tweeted about it, and then they threatened to take legal action and take his Twitter name because they owned it. And they shut up.
That's what I want to. Speaking of the racism, does anybody give a shit Del Rio's back?
How is it ironic that actually no? I want to hear both your opinions on his return first before I go into it, because it's interesting.
Well, for one, I was surprised. For two, I was disappointed, and for three, I've already not cared that he's back. I've never liked Del Rio. I don't know if we talked about this before, but I've never liked Del Rio. His style, he just seems just not my style that I'm into. He just seems boring to me. He seems too generic. I don't know why. But yeah, I've never liked Del Rio. It was surprising though when he came out. I was
surprised.
Not expecting him. He was one of the last people I would have picked. That was a surprise.
Yeah. Hey, Rab, what do you say?
I mean, I've always liked Del Rio, so I'm on the other side of this. I know a lot of people find him boring.
I feel like we've went back and forth on Del Rio.
We've done this before.
I think so. Yeah.
The biggest problem, the gimmick is a bit boring. I completely agree with it. The gimmick
doesn't have a gimmick anymore.
Boring as hell. Yeah, exactly. It fell off. He was a rich guy, and now he's just a guy who comes. He doesn't have the cars anymore. He doesn't have the announcer anymore. Yeah. And this was before they let him go. This isn't just because he came back and now No. Before they let him go, they got rid of the cars. They got rid of things. They even got rid of like the big part of his intro, like the big part of the song that goes that the first part of the song that announces him. They just moved into. They just started in the middle of the song now. And he just walked
taking out the Austin's breaking glass.
Exactly.
Just,
that would still be kind of badass. But that's not the point.
I don't.
They started in the middle of the song, and and that's the biggest because he's a great wrestler.
He is, but he's boring. He has no charisma.
He is. That's untrue.
He has no fucking charisma.
Untrue completely.
To see, what happened with him, in my opinion, was when he had the car, he had the announcer, he had the really cool intro to his music, he had the fancy clothes. It covered up the fact that he had no goddamn charisma. Because he was so cool when he had come out. You're like, oh, this guy's awesome. But then I remember the moment that I lost faith in him was when they put him in the ring with Punk to do a like a face-off mic war, and Punk ripped him to shreds. Like he didn't even. It was like Punk would throw out all these really clever insults, and he'd be like, "Well, you're stupid," and that was it. He lost to me. And it's
because
so clear.
Punk says what he wants, and Alberto Del Rio says what is written for him.
I don't think he's quick enough, because if you watch some of his indie stuff, I watched a few of his things where he'd be in the ring, and some places would pay him just to show up and cut a like a promo. He's still terrible. He's still
I
bad.
thought he was still in Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground is awesome, though. I mean, they've turned Big Zeke into gold, and he was awful. So, like, Lucha Underground, anybody can be amazing in that company. And even then, I know my friend, the person on the show, Old Man Tom, because he watches that show religiously, he's like, Alberto Rio's good, but he's still the worst thing about Lucha, hands down. He's just a big name, so that's why they brought him in.
How the fuck did he get a big name if he doesn't do anything?
He's already one of the most popular wrestlers in Mexico before WWE brought him in.
See, I heard that, but what was he doing? Like,
I mean,
he doesn't do anything.
Well, he was a luchador. They don't have to be entertaining.
Yeah. Also true.
Yeah, they don't have to be entertaining.
I don't know if you guys have ever watched Mexican wrestling. You know, like AAA or
it's the worst. It's the worst.
Like actual Mexican wrestling.
Yeah.
Which I used to watch all the time as a kid, and it was all right because I speak Spanish, so I understood the announcing and stuff. Yeah, they have no personalities.
No, it's
not really a thing they do there.
No, every match is a 6-man tag too.
Every match is a 6-man.
Every match is a 6-man tag.
Yeah, you like when you see. I remember the only singles matches I would see, because I used to watch AAA because it was on my old cable subscription, and so it would pop on and I'd watch it, and like I only saw 2 or 3 singles matches, and they always had Vampiro.
Oh my god, Vampiro!
Every fucking time, he always had. It's like Vampiro would show up and go, "I am a big deal here, and you're not throwing me in a 6-man tag." It's very strange, but yeah, it's like stripping people of gimmicks. I think that's a pretty interesting one to talk about. Like taking away what made Del Rio work, and then he got boring, and they're like, "Why is he boring?" Because he took away his gimmicks. Rusev was another example. They stripped away Lana from him.
God, they ruined Rusev.
They killed him. He's awesome. I still like him, but they killed him. Killed him dead.
They ruined him and Lana. Him and Lana were perfect.
Didn't they get in trouble for announcing they're engaged?
But now they're back together, so I'm hoping that leads to better things for them. Yeah. Another example, Barrett, when he got Bad News Barrett over, and they immediately had him stop doing it.
Make sure you don't say bad news, because then people will cheer.
Yeah, even though it was a horrible idea to begin with, and he still got it over. It was because it was so hokey, but he got it over.
I've always hated that. That's one thing I've hated a lot. I feel they did not do when I was a kid. When I was watching wrestling, because heels would get over, and then they go, "Okay, cool, the heels are over now. Great, now people are cheering for the heels." Now, the Miz, for instance,
who I don't like the Miz, but still.
What happened?
The awesome thing got over.
I'm awesome, and they told him, "Oh, stop saying I'm awesome." People are saying it along with you, and
he doesn't say it anymore. You're right. You don't hear him say it almost ever anymore.
I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome. Don't say that, because when you say that, then the crowd also says it, but they're not supposed to be saying it with you because they hate you. They're supposed to hate you, and if they say something with you, it's like they like you, and that's not the reaction we want. Don't say I'm awesome.
You know what's funny is I remember one of our old podcasts. And we were talking about, I think the topic was somebody you think is going to become a really big star. And I picked Miz. And I said it wasn't because he's good, because he's not good at all. I mean, he's passable, but he's not good. And I said it had nothing to do with his ability. I said it's because he's one of the few people who has a catchphrase. Because that's really all it takes nowadays, because that'll get you over. And ironically enough, it did get him over. They gave him a chance in the Mania main event, and then, basically they were just... They were like, well, you can't say that anymore. The thing that brought me to the game, you're going to take away. I can't understand that. And they do it to faces too. They did it to Ryder. Like they stopped giving him mic time and they started treating him like shit. So it's not just the heels that are affected by this, although usually it is heels. God, it's so fucking weird. It's like, imagine Austin, because when he did the Austin 316 thing at King of the Ring, he was a heel, right? Like he was a bad guy.
Yes,
Promo Jake. Imagine he said that and it got over, and they were like on Raw the next night. They go, "Steve, you can't say that anymore. So we need them to hate you. So don't say that anymore." And he just comes out and doesn't do it.
Kevin Dunn would be like, "Oh, no one look at any of the no one show any of the signs in the crowd."
Yeah.
Because there's too many Austin 316 signs. Don't say that. That's not the reaction we're looking for.
Supposed to be hated.
Let's step away. Let's step away from that.
Yeah.
You know, he's supposed to hate him.
Also,
let's change his music. Let's change his music a third time.
Yeah, they just changed it to
Primetime Players. Primetime Players is a fantastic example of that. Their theme
song got over, and the money, the millions of dollars got over, and then let's change their theme song. Let's change that entirely.
Oh my god, I hate that
because
so much.
people are. But that got over. It was
the
super fun.
Primetime Players. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Titus O'Neil is. He's my newest. I will change the channel until he is off TV.
Hey
guys.
man, Titus O'Neil is like Kobe Bryant in a hotel room in Colorado. Unstoppable. That's what
got Abraham Washington
fired. I looked it up.
Oh, was it? Oh, oh yeah. That's. Oh my god. Why would you say that?
That's what got him fired.
Why would you made a rape joke?
Wow.
He made a rape joke.
Yeah, so you're gone. That's it. Imagine if Punk's in the middle of the ring and was like, "I enjoy rape," he would be fired the next day. It doesn't matter who you are, you'd be gone.
Yeah.
Huh?
That makes a little more sense.
I'm so happy we got back to that somehow. That was holding on to that nugget.
Yeah. Oh my god. I can't imagine. I know he was freestyling it because they were doing that annoying gimmick where during the match he would just grab a mic and talk the entire time at the like top of his
he had like a headset on, like he was like one of those self-help guru shit.
Oh my god, it was the worst. Like that, the worst thing you can do to somebody having a wrestling match is have a distraction that everybody focuses on outside nonstop.
No, okay. I remember one of the best parts about this was AW came back in 2012. He came back on the Raw after Smack, the same Raw that like the Yes Movement was born on and all that nonsense, and that Brock Lesnar came back was the same Raw that AW came back, and I was at that Raw. And he comes out, and everyone's just like, okay, we can tell by the way they're framing this, we're supposed to know who this is. But who is this motherfucker? No one had, and it was the smarkiest crowd, a crowd full of nothing but hardcore wrestling fans who just eat, breathe, that like 3 days of wrestling was not enough for them. They need a whole other day. They need the Monday after, and no one knew who he was. It was the most silent. It was just the silent reaction, and eventually everyone just started going yes halfway through it.
So it was like the same. It was the same reaction that Brock Lesnar got when he came back.
What?
No, it was not. It was about
the fuck?
When Brock Lesnar came back, the place came unglued, and I got tinglies.
Yeah, no, it was pretty great. I hated that they spoiled it on Twitter though. Right before that was bullshit.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
It did for me.
Everyone knew.
I happened to be on Twitter, and I'm like, God damn you.
Well, everyone had been chanting Brock Lesnar for like 2 hours before that.
But that's because they spoiled it on Twitter.
Yeah, everybody knew it was happening. Yeah.
That sucks. Well, that was something else I wanted to talk about. If you guys don't have anything else to continue on, I was going to say Brock Lesnar thoughts overall since his comeback, because that's pretty much been outside of the podcast for us.
Yeah, it definitely. Well, I think this year has been a letdown for him. To be honest with you, no lie.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, the last year was phenomenal. They did very well with him. I don't think he's. I don't even think he's positive wins and losses this year. I'm not 100% on that.
He never wrestles, so.
Well, he wrestled Taker and lost.
He's got like 6 matches or something like that.
I don't know why he even wrestled Taker and lost. What was the point of it?
No, what was the point of that? Because it just made him look kind of weak.
I think to make it a rubber match so they could have a rubber match. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but why?
Well,
I mean, why did they just? Who cares if Taker loses 3 in a row? It's Taker. He could lose 1,000 matches and people will still want to see him wrestle.
Yeah, but there's always going to be more of a build when it's tie 1-1.
But no, it doesn't matter though. It doesn't.
He beat him like
it
a
doesn't
bitch
matter.
too. He didn't just beat him straight up. He beat him like a goddamn bitch. So it was like it wasn't like basically they framed it like Taker couldn't beat him, and he like that they're right. That's it.
It doesn't matter. You know, Brock already beat him at WrestleMania. That was already a thing, which happened while we didn't have the podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
It was an amazing
true.
moment.
Which we should all say that was crazy.
Amazing. Okay, what do you mean an amazing moment?
That was an amazing moment.
It was
I was all for it. The
oh
moment,
my god,
match
really?
was terrible. But the moment Taker losing the streak, you couldn't have picked a better person to have him lose to.
It was perfect. It was at the time I was furious.
Oh, me too. I didn't like it.
For very smarky reasons.
Yeah.
Though I was just mad. The way I was supposed to be furious.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
And the way wrestling is supposed to make you
it
mad,
works.
not the way it usually makes you mad.
Well, here we go. That's a perfect argument, right? I completely disagree. He should never have. I agree. Nobody could have beat him other than Brock. I do agree. If anybody's going to beat him, it's going to be Brock. But nobody should have fucking beat.
See, I completely disagree, because the entire point of building something up, that's like saying that you're going to build up this big deal in a movie, a miscellaneous movie, and then there's no payoff to it. It just ends, and that guy is just always a beat. Like, you always build up somebody to give somebody else a rub. Otherwise, it's just like jerking off without orgasming. There's just no point. Like, there's never going to be that orgasm or that payoff. You just stroked your dick raw.
It's why Brock was so good after that, because he became just this, even more so than he already was, just this monster, just this unbeatable monster. He beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He destroyed John Cena at SummerSlam. Or was it SummerSlam or Survivor Series?
SummerSlam.
It was SummerSlam. At SummerSlam, and it was, if he had just beat John Cena, it would have been great, but he beat The Undertaker.
See, I think that's where me and you were going to disagree, though, because I absolutely loathe that SummerSlam. I loathe it.
Where he beat the shit out of John?
I loathe it. That's just awful booking. Like basically you paid to see a squash match, and the only reason it was special is because it was against Cena. But then, okay, so the booking of it would have been fine. I could have gotten behind it if they had booked Brock properly after, but they got scared and made Cena into like a formidable foe for him the next month. So it didn't.
I agree. I agree with that.
It just became
I agree.
dumb.
Didn't like that.
How did Brock dominate him so badly?
But at least Brock still beat him.
Yeah, I don't like Brock's match structure. I like his character, and I like hanging with him, but I hate that if you've seen one Brock Lesnar match, like you've seen every single Brock Lesnar match.
No, I completely just no.
All he does is the same 10 suplexes. He doesn't do anything else.
He does. He's fucking Scott Steiner. I get it. He does a lot of suplexes.
No,
but
even Steiner does way more moves than Brock does now.
I
like
agree
Brock, he does 10 German suplexes or back suplexes, whatever. Then he'll hit like 2 or 3 F5s, and that's the match. Tell me one match in the last 2 years where that has not been the case.
I just remember seeing the crazy when he fought. Was it their? I had to be their second match. It was against Cena. It wasn't the fucking squash. It wasn't the squash. It had to be the other one.
The very first one when he came back.
Yes, the very first when he came back. That was a phenomenal match.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that because he wrestled.
Yes.
But then right after that, he's done nothing except for German suplexes folled by an F5 end of match and getting busted open, which I always respect.
I do. He does it hard.
I kind of like that as long as he wins. I kind of like that there is this creature that comes out and just wrecks, just runs ramshot and just wrecks everything, and then he wins the title, and then he just wrecks everything. That's just what he does. He comes out, he just murders people.
But I remember when he was,
and then you pawn that off, and then you rub that off to someone. Now the problem is they tried to do it to Roman Reigns, and everyone got angry because everyone saw it coming. Oh no, they're going to pawn it off to Roman Reigns.
I was there for that one live. It was not pretty.
Yeah, we definitely have to talk about Reigns, but
yeah.
But first, look, the big thing I remember from Brock was he will throw something out there. Like I remember in that one match, I don't know if anybody else watched it or whatever. I don't know, but
I remember.
Yeah, do you remember the spot where he had the stairs were in the ring, and he just out of nowhere just ran and launched himself out of the ring over the top rope. Just launched himself.
He almost landed on his neck.
Yes, he did.
It was towards the end.
And that shit's crazy. He didn't have to do that.
On that match, I'm saying after that match, he went into I do the same stuff. That match, he was great because he was actually trying to wrestle a match. Granted, it was a hardcore match, but he was still trying to actually do moves and do like psychology. And now it's just, I am going to not sell anything that you do in the first 5 minutes. I'm going to proceed to German suplex you 10 to 15 times. Then I will hit the F5. Either you kick out or you don't. And then if you do, I'll hit it a couple more times, and then I will win. And that is the match. And that's every single match.
I think it's fantastic.
I don't like it. I like him. I don't like that. I wish he would actually... You know what I think would be cool? I wish he would get into maybe a little bit of the amateur stuff so like maybe taking him to the ground a little bit more, but he doesn't really bother all that much. It's all brutal.
The thing that ruined it, or I wouldn't say ruined it, but the thing that made him do that lately is because of the squash match against Cena. Ever since people started counting the fucking suplexes, that's when he's like, all right, now I guess this is my thing. I'm just gonna suplex everybody. That's like ever since that moment, that's when he started going towards the suplexes. I don't know if that was his decision or somebody's.
Well, he figured out that he didn't have to really wrestle. If he's like, wait, they really like it when I just do the same move 10 times and then do my finisher. I don't have to actually put together a real match. Well, yeah, fuck it. Then I'm just going to do it. It's like Austin. Austin, even though he was a lot better at it, he was just a brawler. Remember, he had his like typical 3 moves, but for the most part, it was just punch and stomps. He was just a lot clever at, or more clever at hiding it than Lesnar is. But Lesnar, he's like a 2-trick pony, and that's it. I just don't like it. I wish he would add a little more variety to his offense, but I mean, it's a small complaint because
I like it.
Great.
I like it for what it turns his character into. It makes him from all this crazy good wrestler that's impossible to beat to he's the beast incarnate. He is this force of nature. Because it's a guy who wrestles, and then they put together good matches. That's great, but it doesn't make him the beast incarnate. The beast incarnate comes from he just comes out and just tears people in half.
Yeah. I'll ask you a question though. So he's good. I mean, we can all admit we like him. All of us like him a lot. But how much better would he be if he had never lost up until that WrestleMania against Reigns? So Cena didn't beat him when he came in. He never lost to Triple H that one time, and Taker didn't beat him. How much better?
I pretend that the whole thing to Triple H didn't happen, so that doesn't count.
I actually usually do forget.
In my
about
head,
that
it doesn't happen.
That was the biggest mistake.
No, I remembered it while we were talking about this, but in my head, didn't happen.
The Triple H one was the worst because I understood the Cena one. You know, they brought this guy back in. They were paying him a lot, but they weren't sure where his head was. And you're not going to put him over the first night against your main guy. So I understood. He still looked good, so I didn't really mind. The Taker one, I don't like the fact that Taker beat him, but at least Taker beat him like a bitch. So again, like he didn't really lose straight up. But with Triple H beat him straight up. he just
you knew
beat
that
him, and that was it. It was dumb. The whole trading back wins thing needs to go in.
Yes, it would be better. It would be better if he had never lost, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go into Reigns yet, but I think this year they have I know it sounds stupid me saying this, but I don't think they've booked him even close to what they should have. He should not have lost a fucking match yet, besides his first match to Taker, and that's the only one he should have lost.
Yeah. I mean, I agree because I think this could lead into the Reigns discussion. That match, I was I don't know if anybody here saw my Facebook posts or anything. I was so against them putting Reigns into that match. It wasn't like I was basically I was pro Brian. I was pro Brian.
I know. Trust me. I know. And I was getting so aggravated with you motherfucker.
And then it's funny because if you look after the fact on like podcasts and stuff, you find out because I thought that what happened was they knew Brian was having problems and they didn't want to put him in the main event to risk it. And that would be logical then. Then I could be like, okay, I understand they didn't want to risk putting him against Brock because Brock he hurts people. So I get it. But then you come to find out that they had no idea that Brian was hurt until Brian told them that he was hurt when he dropped the IC title. So they just said, we're not going to put the guy who's getting like Steve Austin Attitude Era reactions back into the main event. Fuck that guy. Let's push this other dude that's not ready at all. But with that being said, they had an awesome WrestleMania match. And I felt like the Rollins thing, I was happy at the time that he cashed in. I rewatched it a couple weeks ago. That killed that match. It would have went down as a classic between just two guys beating the crap out of each other, mostly Brock beating Reigns. But then they had Rollins come out. It was like a cop-out finish. I wanted a straight-up finish.
And they did that for motherfuckers like you.
It was a cop-out finish. It had to happen, though.
They had
to save it. No, they had to save it.
Brock could have I think Brock could have won. If they were really serious about,
but Brock didn't even know if he was going to stay. Brock had like 3 more things.
No,
they had no idea what was going on with Brock.
When they before they got to that match, he had already resigned, so they knew he was staying.
That's true. And I feel that ruined the match a little bit. Because
Well-
it would have been better if people
Reigns
didn't know.
couldn't have won. Reigns couldn't have won.
No, I agree. I don't think he could have, because I think it would have been even worse. But what I'm saying is they're all about long-term booking right now, at least in terms of WrestleMania main events. Like the Rock Cena stuff, that put me to sleep. But the thing is, if they were really serious about Reigns, he looked good in the match because he was taking a beating, but he looked good while he was taking a beating. Have a good, solid match, but Lesnar beats him. He beats him in the main event. He puts him down. This gives you a full year to build Roman Reigns back up to get back to the main event of WrestleMania the following year to take Lesnar on again, and then he finally wins the title from him. It gives a little more credibility to Reigns.
Sure,
but instead they just copped out and finished it with Rollins. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but they copped out finishing Rollins, but they've actually turned Rollins into something. Now, this is sad to say the day we find out that Rollins is done for the next 6 to 9 months.
Yeah,
but
well, I'm not saying
it's not like they copped out and then like Cena ran with the title.
I'm not saying that they had to have Rollins not win the title. Like the rematch between Lesnar and Reigns didn't have to even be for the title if they went that route. They could have had Brock come out the next, or they even could have had Brock beat Reigns but be so out of it that then Rollins cashed in. I just think it hurt the match. It's like imagine Rock versus Austin.
I agree that it hurt the match, but the match was not the most important thing. It hurt the match, but the match.
I know, but it was good. It was really good.
What do you mean by it wasn't the most?
The most important thing was the story moving on. The most important thing was not that one match.
It's WrestleMania, though. It's supposed to be the end of storytelling.
That's the WrestleMania main event. The
Yeah.
WrestleMania main event should be the most important moment.
And it launched Seth Rollins.
Not really, because I would argue that he's been a pretty terrible champion. Not on his own fault. He's great.
What?
I love him. But they've treated him like... he's basically on his first, I call it the Jericho title reign, where he just loses to everybody and looks really, really weak. And then when he wins it again down the road, he'll look a lot better because they'll have more faith in him. But I hate when WrestleMania...
I disagree entirely.
What?
I disagree entirely.
He's defended his title against on every single pay-per-view, though.
Oh, yeah, but he's a bitch. Like, how many of those... He's beat Sting. That's
He's
it.
playing the bitch role like he's like
but I
the
hate
bitch
that.
wrestler. But
I can't stand that, though. He wouldn't be champion for that long if he was a bitch. It's like that whole booking, that whole era of this guy was awesome as a face, and then he turned heel, and all of a sudden he can't beat people anymore, is done. It's dead. It kills any heel's credibility. It's like, well, Punk was the biggest offender. This guy was champion for over a year, beat everybody clean, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, because he got jealous of a movie star, he was a bitch, and he couldn't win a single match fairly if he tried. I hate that.
That's Triple H influence, because that was what his career was based on.
But like what I was saying with the Rollins thing is, I hate any WrestleMania main event because it's the main event. It's it. Like, you built your whole year around this. I hate it when they don't end decisively. I hate it when it ends and you think, ooh, well, what I have to watch tomorrow night to find out what they're going to do. Tomorrow night's already going to be really good. Like, the next night on Raw, everybody knows it's good.
Mm-hmm.
End your fucking WrestleMania main event. Don't drag it on. I have a decisive winner. But with Rollins, they just threw him out there because they didn't want Reigns to take a direct pin from Brock. They wanted to be kind of a half-assed loss. And then, of course, they didn't want Lesnar to lose. It was just, don't book that main event if you're not willing to do a solid, actual finish.
Well, that's different. They shouldn't have booked the main event in the first place.
No.
True. But once they did and saw that, oh my God, we can't do this. We can't do this Roman Reigns thing. It's not going to work out.
I think he could have taken a loss and been actually 10 times more over from losing to Lesnar than what they ended up doing, because it took him 6 months to win at least some of the crowd back over. It's just, oh my God, they handled him so
before I say what I'm about to say, just I am not a Roman Reigns mark by any means.
Huge Roman Reigns guy.
He's huge. He's lying.
I'm
behind
definitely
Roman
not.
Reigns
But God,
all year since the Royal Rumble.
damn, fucking you people piss me off. You people with your Roman Reigns is the worst. Roman Reigns, he's not ready.
Before you say something, though, I want to point something out. This is the best three-man podcast I've ever been a part of.
What are you talking? Peanut is here.
I did notice that Peanut hasn't spoken in a long time.
Yeah, I think he's gone. So, what were you going to say about Roman Reigns?
Dude, no. Roman Reigns could have been handled much better if it wasn't for the fans being little pricks. Bottom line.
No, I disagree completely.
He is a
You're
good
right.
wrestler.
If the fans weren't angry that he wasn't ready,
No,
no. Everything would have been great.
No, he was ready. He could have been
wasn't
ready.
No, he
Everybody
wasn't.
decided that he wasn't ready. They decided he wasn't. He was.
Isn't that
No, but I'm
okay? So when the fans decide that he's not ready, doesn't that mean he's not ready?
No, he's
yeah,
not.
it's true.
No,
We're talking specifically about. So when Vince McMahon says, "Oh, I don't like this," but the fans are against it, then we go, "Oh, Vince doesn't listen to the fans," and then they go, "Oh shit, the fans don't like this guy. They don't like that he's not ready." So now, it's on the fans.
Name a bad
Oh, it's
Roman
on
Reigns
the
match.
No, I have a point to push here, though. Triple H did an interview. It was when they were opening up the NXT facility, and one of the guys, he had a decent set of balls because he asked him. He said, "What do you think about the Reigns situation and how they're handling him and like the cheering? And do you think he's ready?" And he said, no one is ever ready. So they knew he wasn't ready. They just wanted that next big rock. They wanted the next big Samoan star. They wanted this guy to take over Cena's spot, but he wasn't there yet. And I think he will be ready. I think he's really good. I actually think he hasn't been wrestling very long at all. Like when they picked him up, he had barely been wrestling. He's damn good. He's got great charisma. He's got an amazing look, and he's really good in the ring. But don't shove him down their fucking throats.
Okay,
like it's just that's where they went wrong. Like the fans are the ones that choose who is ready. It's not the company that chooses who is ready.
Oh God. Okay, so first, I'm not saying that he should have won the title. First of all, I'm saying he belonged in that match. That's what I'm saying. The
problem is there was someone else who already belonged in that match.
Yeah, they took it away from an Austin.
And you have. If you go back to the podcast, because the Shield debuted before we stopped doing the podcast, you will have me saying great things about Roman Reigns and the rest of the Shield, because I've liked Roman Reigns for a long time, and I think he's great. I agree with Zion. He's great, but he wasn't ready at the time, and also there was someone else who was.
And you're talking about Bryan.
Yeah,
I am talking about Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. The story of that, David versus Goliath, which is really funny because they love that type of story. They if you look at the past, like Rey Mysterio versus Big Show, they love telling the little guy versus the big guy. Granted, the big guy usually won, but still, they like storytelling. Like they're claiming that they're big on stories. So instead of going with something that was just, it was written for them. It's like they walked in to Raw that day and it was on the wall.
The biggest problem was that they started the story and then went, well, who gives a shit now?
Because he came back and they treated him like garbage.
Yeah, he won the title and then the mean authority screwed him. That's not how. That's the beginning of the story.
Yeah,
we saw it with Austin.
Hell in a Cell. How it starts. Hell in a Cell with Orton was. I remember he was on Jericho's podcast. Brian was. And Hell in a Cell with Orton was supposed to be his last run on the top as main event. Like that, I remember watching that and thinking, okay, this is going to be a slow burn. Like the reactions he's getting are so good that they're going to take him out for a while. They're going to keep him away from the belt because they're close enough to Mania where he could kind of do his own thing for a couple of months and then kind of make him win the Rumble and put him back in. But he said point blank, he was told, "You're wrestling Sheamus at WrestleMania and you're done at the main event for now." That's like Austin becoming blistering hot like he was in the early 2000s, and then after 6 months they kind of give him a chance, and then they're like, yeah, we're gonna bring back some of the older guys and just keep them in the event scene.
And you're gonna wrestle the Godfather.
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh my God, I just remember I was upset when he lost the first Rumble, which they corrected, thankfully, because we almost got Randy Orton versus Batista in the biggest WrestleMania of all time. But, they corrected it. And then I was sure. We were watching with all our friends for the Royal Rumble before WrestleMania 31. And I'm sitting there, and I'm sure he's going to win. I was 100% sure he's going to win. Because I'm like, they're not going to make the same mistake twice. They know they fucked up the first year. They're going to at the very least, they're going to use him for one more main event, and then they'll start watering him down, like Chris Benoit him or Jericho him, get him out of the main event. But he's too hot. There's no way they're going to fuck that up. The amount of money they would make off of this guy going to the main event, just on merchandise alone, is crazy. And then Wyatt just casually eliminates him, and I swear to God, I screamed at the TV in front of all of my friends. I just yelled, "Do they not like money?" Because apparently they didn't, because Reigns doesn't sell shit for merchandise. So what? I don't get it. I just didn't get it. And of course, since then, podcasts, they've clarified that they didn't get it either.
Now, was that match a good Royal Rumble match?
No, it was the worst one I've ever seen.
Bullshit.
The booking on that was, oh my God.
Are you kidding me? Are you
You're
kidding me
saying,
right now? I'm talking about the match.
No, okay, listen to me though. You're saying that a Royal Rumble in which they built up Big Show and Kane to be the main threats, and then Roman Reigns desperately throws them over the top, not even in strong fashion, to make him look like even more of a bitch, was a good match.
Yeah, don't forget Dolph Ziggler, where they give you that one like, oh, here's a guy you guys like.
And then Ambrose. And then Ambrose right out. You're like, okay, well, Ambrose is our guy. And then they casually just toss him over like garbage. Like, they mean nothing.
Here's some guys that you guys like, and now we're just... Yeah, exactly. We're going to just toss them out just to show you how little we give a shit.
I mean, at the very least, they could have had Show and Kane face off against a very prone Reigns, right? Reigns and Ambrose. Ambrose... He's in better shape, so he runs over to them. He fights a little bit. They toss him out. I get it. Then you've got Reigns is prone. He's hurt. He's really hurt. He's been in there a long time, and he's going up with these two monsters. He somehow proceeds to fight back against them and throw each of them out, looking amazing, looking like gold. Even though the fans are shitting on him, he looks like a champion. But instead, they brawl with each other a little bit and kind of hang by the ring, and he desperately pushes them over because he has no other power to beat them. This is the worst finish I have ever seen to a Royal Rumble match in my entire life.
Okay, the finish. Okay.
I think we shut you down. I don't know.
Okay, look,
say.
The finish wasn't the strongest.
I remember nothing from that Rumble other than Bryan get eliminated and the horrible finish. So to me, it's not a good Rumble.
That's a lie.
Axelmania.
No, fuck you guys. No, Bubba Ray.
Bubba
Ray coming out was amazing. Don't even lie.
Axelmania was the best.
It wasn't amazing because they fucked up him too. Because Bubba Ray shouldn't be coming out as Bubba Ray. He should have been coming out as his own individual man. Because he was awesome in TNA. He was awesome.
But no one cares about that.
Yeah, but they can make people care.
But that's not what the Royal Rumble is for. The Royal Rumble, you come out, you do your little moves, everyone screams 3D, and then you throw them out. I'm fine with that.
Then don't put them out there.
Great. That's
but they're
exactly why you put them out there. That's what the Royal Rumble is for.
They've done their nostalgia run, and they're already off TV.
Yes, that's fine, but that's what the Royal Rumble's for.
The Royal Rumble's always had returns.
I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about the Royal Rumble.
I
Royal
saw
Rumble's for Bubba Ray coming out, or DDP came out and he did the diamond cutter and he cuts people and then he gets thrown out. That's fine.
There's no
that's
value in DDP though. DDP comes out because he's done. He's not. They can't do anything with him. But with Bubba,
oh my god,
looking at his work in TNA, he's great.
Do you plan on what? So you didn't like DDP or Bubba?
No. God damn it! Listen to me. I said DDP was perfect. Okay. That's a perfect gimmick for Rumble because when he comes out and does his thing, there's no more value from him. He's literally a pop and that's it. But Bubba had shown that he could actually be his own singles guy. He could actually have his own character, his own heel status. There's something they could do with him. But instead, they bring him out, they use him as a gimmick, and that was that.
Well, you can do that. You can bring him out, use him as a gimmick, and then move on from that.
They tried that with Kevin Nash. How'd that work out?
The two things are, that's different. Kevin Nash can barely move.
It's not, though. They brought him out as Diesel, and then they proceeded to try and make him into Nash, and it was horrible. It
is different, and it has nothing to do with that. It's because Kevin Nash was never a good wrestler, ever.
True.
Yeah, but he still had some mileage. I enjoyed his stuff.
Ever a good wrestler.
Oh, I enjoyed his matches, but...
We didn't even get a finish to the Punk thing because you can't move.
True.
No, well, it was because he didn't clear his. He had enzymes that were too high or something. Yeah, it was something medical.
He's old and broken.
But all right, so either way, though, I mean, I still think Rab and I agree that Rumble was fucking awful. Like the moment Bryan was eliminated, I had no interest, and then I watched them proceed to tease people I cared about, maybe getting a push, and watching them just casually thrown over. Like they didn't even put up a fight. I remember Ziggler was just like prone, and they just threw him out, and that was it. It was
he was flailing around for a couple minutes. Yeah,
I get the ending wasn't that strong, but from what I remember, I haven't seen it in a while. It's been like 11 months now, and I remember from front to back, the match was pretty decent. I know a lot of people shit on it.
Yeah, because it's bad.
Because you're super
wrong. You're in the 1%.
No, I don't care if I'm in the 1% and the fucking 0.5%. The match was one of the best in the past, maybe 5 years of Royal Rumble.
Incredibly wrong.
I disagree in every way I could disagree. I even thought Batista winning
the one
was more entertaining than
No, you see, that's the thing. Everybody instantly thinks that because Bryan didn't fucking win. And that's incorrect.
What I'm saying. No, but that's
either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Batista, I was just as upset. But I actually thought the way they booked Batista, he looked stronger than Reigns did when he won.
The ending wasn't the strongest. The
No,
match,
it was
I'm
the
talking,
worst.
it's an hour-long match. It's an hour-long fucking match.
I don't. So, like, what else happened besides Bubba coming out and DDP coming out? Can you tell me any, like, inventive spots? Was there?
I mean,
I
can't.
CM Punk was in the ring, and, like, Booker T came out, and Nash, like, confronted the Nexus, and how cool that was that Punk's
CM
group was
Punk
taking
and the
people
Nexus
out.
was incredible.
Did Beth Phoenix,
That was
like,
a
kiss
much better.
Khali and, like, throw him over because it was really funny to watch that? Did
dear
Mankind come
God
out
in
and duel
heaven.
Sacco with
Where the fuck's
Santino?
Peanut?
There's no moments. There was nothing
No.
that happened in that match that was special.
Or even the one that the Del Rio one, we had the whole thing with Santino.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, that was so good.
I agree. The ending was awesome.
So we named all these ones that are recent and much better than the one you're talking about.
Dude, you guys no.
Go
Go back and watch the match. I promise.
I have. I watched it because
like
I needed
3
to cry.
times. The Royal Rumble is my favorite thing.
Yeah,
If
me too.
everybody,
I've actually
mad.
mentioned it
It's
on the
everybody's
podcast before. I love. No, it's not everyone's favorite. It really is my favorite thing. I love
Yeah,
the
me
Royal
too.
Rumble.
Me too.
It's my number
yeah,
one.
Of course.
That's
me
my
too.
number one. But I mean, ever since apparently, like I think what I've heard through the grapevine is that Patterson hasn't booked it in the past like 5 years, and that's why it's more about moments rather than match structure. Because when he was booking it, things made sense. Like there was little story arcs for people
Yes.
within the match, and now it's just like send a random guy out there and
No,
maybe a cool moment will
the
happen.
thing.
That's about it.
No, that's the thing. I can't remember all the little things, but that was going on throughout the match. There were little things throughout the match. That's why I liked it from front to back. No, that pissed me off. I can't remember all the little fucking things. But
You remember
It's
any
not
of
that
them?
good.
no, God,
I know you can't remember all of them. Can you remember any of them?
Yeah, can you remember anything besides Bubba came out and it was cool, and DDP came out and it was cool, and
The best
fuck
part
the
is that
fans for shitting on that.
I have some. The best part is that I like.
Yeah, give me something other than those three.
Okay.
Adam Rose. Adam Rose came out with the
Yeah.
party people, and Kofi Kingston fell into the party people as he was getting eliminated. That was Kofi.
Yeah, the worst of the Kingston spots, and you think that was awesome?
It was great. It was great.
Oh my god,
oh, best ever, best ever Rumble.
this is so bad. But yeah, Reigns. I think Reigns is going, and like say in the next 5 years. Granted, his health has to hold up,
We'll go
but
back
I
and
think
watch
the
that
two main guys in the company are going to be Roman Reigns, and you're looking at Bray Wyatt. I think that those two, as long as they don't fuck them up and they stay healthy, those are your next Steve Austin and like Rock. I don't know if
I'm
they'll
so
hold
sad
up in
about-
terms of fan reaction, but I think that's the two guys that they're going to push.
I'm so sad about Miz though.
I'm too.
I mean,
I'm-
because he has it.
He
I
gets
remember
wrestling.
Seeing him the first time I saw Damian Sandow was like at the fair.
I remember you told this one before.
Yeah, because I took, and it was one of those things. I go, oh my god, this guy just fucking. People no, they had any idea who the fuck he was, and immediately it was, oh shit, this guy.
He's not a great wrestler, but he is an amazing entertainer.
He has it.
He gets
He's
entertainment.
not a great wrestler, but he has it.
Yeah, he does. I agree. I don't think he has it for main event territory at all, but I think he would be a solid mid-card guy for them if they gave him a chance. But they'll never give him a chance. Like he's dead in the water.
I think he could be Triple H.
He's on Xavier Woods' YouTube channel. With
Oh, is he?
Up, Down Down. Yeah, he's like a rapper on it. And I was like, it's funny that Up Down Down is getting him more over than WWE. So that's good stuff. But I think Reigns is definitely going to be the guy, and I'm okay with that because I like him. I just you know what
because
they really
he has good fucking matches. That's why.
no he does. But before that
Well,
WrestleMania,
you're saying
event-
Reigns is bad, which saying he shouldn't have been in that one main event.
None of us said he had a bad match, but think about it this way. Before he had that match with Brock at WrestleMania, he had only had 2 other singles matches in his entire career. No. Just no. You have not fucking earned this. No, shame on you. But I was thinking of something because Rollins is hurt, right? So that's the big news. He's out for 6 to 9 months.
6 to 9.
So they're doing a tournament. I like the idea of Reigns turning heel and being the new authority figure. Like basically, he hasn't been able to get the job done on his own. Turn him heel. That's going to make fans instantly like him. It's the Rock effect. When he's face, they hate him. When he's heel, they'll like him. At least this gets some people behind him. Have him feud with Ambrose for a while, and then when Brock comes back, have him and Brock have another match, and then it turns the tables. People want to cheer Brock, right? They'll get to cheer Brock. They want to boo Reigns. They get to boo Reigns. And then after WrestleMania, turn him face again, gold.
It
People
sounds
wanna
so
put-
good,
people-
doesn't it? And then when they do it, people are going to get pissed and then
No,
fucking
no,
ruin it.
No, I don't think they will because Reigns is in the spot he should be, which is the heel. And Lesnar is in the spot that he should be in. He's going to be the face. So it'll work. They didn't do like, I thought they were going to do a switch with Brock and Reigns at Mania. They didn't. They were just like, Brock's still a heel even though he's getting treated like a face.
You know what? That might have done it better if they had done the switch. If they had done the switch because everyone hated Reigns and let's pretend no one hates Reigns.
Oh, and then Reigns is going on doing interviews during that time, calling all the people booing him
Jerk.
internet nerds that don't understand wrestling. Yeah, these are the same internet nerds that are going to decide whether or not you get cheered or not. Good job winning them over, you asshole. Like, oh my god, douchebag. But I'm for Reigns
just
and Lesnar.
like a huge jerk,
Yeah.
and then they still couldn't turn him.
Yeah, and then oh my god, Jericho was the worst on his podcast when he had to backtrack because he did the same thing. He essentially said that wrestling fans don't know what they want. Mm-hmm. It's the worst thing you could say. That's like saying any decision that I make in life, I go, well, people that are upset don't know what they want. What? It's bad. But I say let's do Reigns versus Lesnar again at Mania, but let's do it for the title, and let's make Lesnar the authority figure since Rollins is hurt. I think he'd be a really good heel, and let's have Lesnar return to get his rematch against Reigns one-on-one with a clear, decisive finish, and give the belt back to Brock. I mean,
people have kind of forgotten since he's still not really over the whole debacle. But people were getting behind Reigns like crazy when he was on the Shield.
Yeah, he was. If you turn him face, though, or turn him heel right now, I think that will fix a lot of their issues, because they can give him a run as a heel. It will help.
He was popular. He was getting cheered before WWE decided to give him a push.
I like that I think Bomber has a legit gripe against Bryan's fame.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't like Daniel Bryan.
No, you don't.
He doesn't.
I think that's all it is.
I'm not a huge Daniel Bryan fan. I do not dislike Daniel Bryan.
He dislikes Daniel Bryan.
He doesn't like him at all. I can tell by the way you're talking about him, you do not like Bryan. Just say
I don't like Daniel Bryan.
No, I'm
Just
being
admit you don't
dead
like
serious.
him. You think he's a terrible wrestler.
No, I've never once will I say that. Never said that once.
I think you don't like the fact that despite so you seem, which is ironic because I always thought of you as the opposite. I thought of you as more of like going by your own booking. But I think you hate the fact that the company was really trying hard to get somebody new over, but it wasn't working. But then like you fall into the category of people that blame the fans rather than blaming the booking. The booking's fault.
I am mad that the company was trying to create a new star, and the fans rejected it just because it wasn't their guy. No, because it wasn't because WWE was trying to create a new star. The fans automatically went against it and ruined it. He legitimately is good and legitimately will be a top star in the future. Yeah, and they're trying to do it and they're ruining it just because fucking it wasn't like their pick at that moment.
Yes, but you say just because as opposed to because.
Yeah.
You don't need the just there. It's not an excuse, it's a reason.
Yeah, the fans are wrong. So I would argue that Bryan is a new star at that point. Because Bryan, he'd been there for a long time, but he wasn't really ever a star. He was that guy that you would put other guys over on to get them more over.
Just call him a nerd.
Yeah, he's a nerd. But you'd say...
Bomber needs to just say he's a nerd and he's Michael Cole.
See, now, if Bryan... Because Bryan got hurt after Mania, it kind of doesn't matter anymore, which is kind of funny that us and the wrestling nerds still talk about it. But say he hadn't have gotten hurt, you had a potential Steve Austin character. I'm not saying like the same character. I'm saying reaction-wise and merchandise. He was pulling a lot of merchandise. They even said that he was doing really well on the house shows because they split the house shows up between him and Cena. Mm-hmm. And they said that his were getting progressively better. So he was doing really well. You had a guy who he maybe wrestle 4 or 5 more years at the top spot. And then after that, you have the fresh guy in Reigns that can take over. But instead of doing the smart thing and trying to milk the guy who's currently popular for a few more years, they were like, well, we don't really see him as our guy, so we're going to put this other guy in that's not even anywhere near ready in terms of the fans' views, not their views. Obviously, they thought he was ready. But... Is that really smart? Because that's like Austin getting over and saying, well, we could still do some stuff with Austin, but I think we're just going to do something with this other guy instead. Like, run with the guy who the fans like. And then once they're over it. And then push the other guy. I think that's all the fans wanted. Because I'm saying, Reigns he's going to be big. He's going to be really big. He already is a huge star, but he's going to be the guy. But they hurt him for several years. I argue he would be more popular now than he ever was if they had just... let Bryan fight Brock, because then he could have organically had the fans start to like him over time, and by now he would be mega hot.
I mean, he was, yeah, but real quick, just I'm not trying to be a dick, but
You are.
what I know. Imagine for a second that they did ruin the main event like everybody wanted, and they made somehow threw Brian into the match. And he
Ruined
didn't
the main event, Rab.
listen. Okay, sorry. When I say ruin the main event, I meant
putting the
ruin.
guy that people wanted it.
I meant ruin the
Just
plans.
Say
Okay, I
broken.
meant
Say broken. Say broken.
ruin the plans.
Broken the main event.
Broken.
Yeah.
The,
Broken the
okay,
plan.
fine.
No,
Whatever makes you happy.
I'm open to your theory as
Okay.
long as. Yeah.
Say they did change the plans and put Brian in the main event. I don't know, triple threat. I don't know why they would do that because they just did it year before. Anyway, say somehow he got involved in the match and he did win the title like every fucking person wanted. And then how fucked up would it be that he left and all of
but
that
see,
was
again,
for
though,
nothing?
Well, you got two points I would argue you're wrong on. First off, I never wanted a triple threat. I wanted them to book the singles match that they were already supposed to be booking that they decided not to. So triple threat, I agree. It's dumb. Once they went with Reigns, that was it. I mean, they had to do it.
Okay, at Fastlane, I think it was Fastlane. Say Brian did beat Reigns and went on to face Rock.
But no, he shouldn't have. He should have won the Rumble. Once he lost the Rumble, he shouldn't have been in the main event at all. But he should have won the Rumble. That's where they went wrong. For everything else, Fastlane was awesome, by the way. That's like that's pretty much my favorite Reigns match. It was really good.
It was a good
but the other point, what was the second thing that you said?
Daniel Bryan was in.
He got hurt.
Okay, but again, they didn't know that until
nobody knew.
After. But again, though, like hindsight's 2020. I'm saying what was good for business then is not what they did. So even though it all worked out, thank God for them. Again,
yes,
hindsight's 2020.
Just think, what if they did? How bad would that have fucked everything?
So do you want every company to think that eventually they're going to get
fuck everything that
hurt?
bad when the first time that happened?
Well, they
Like
fucked
remember,
up.
Yes, we're talking the
he
same
actually did win the
Yeah,
title and then get injured before. He didn't. I don't think it fucked everything up.
Yeah, it just sucked. No, but what I was
It
going to
just
say
sucked, and it was a thing we had to deal with.
It would have ruined Reigns even more.
No, I don't.
It
No,
had
because he
nothing
would
to
be
do
nowhere
with
near the title.
Reigns.
Yeah, he
It
wouldn't have been in the
nothing
situation.
to do with
at all.
Reigns.
Yeah, he would have been not in the title picture in the slide. He would have faced somebody else at Mania, and
We're
then they
talking
would have
about
sloped.
Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble.
Yes, I'm just
and then
saying
winning at
that would have
WrestleMania,
taken
and
his
it has
opportunity
nothing
away.
to do with Reigns.
No, but like nobody wanted Reigns to win, so how does that hurt him?
His
when he doesn't
opportunity didn't have to be this one WrestleMania.
win? Yeah, he has 10 years of WrestleManias ahead of him.
I mean,
And
how
so-
many has Brian got,
are you
by the
saying?
way?
Are you
that's
saying?
what I'm saying. He doesn't. So do you
Are
take
you
advantage of the
saying
guy?
Are you saying that Roman Reigns right now is ruined? Because remember, you realize he didn't get it.
No, he's
So
not
either
ruined.
he's
He would have been in a
then
much
Daniel
worse
Bryan
situation.
winning and having nothing to do with Roman Reigns wouldn't have ruined Roman Reigns.
Yeah, keeping them separate would have done wonders for Reigns. Like I argue, Reigns would be getting the biggest pops of the. I actually think he would be rivaling Bryan in terms of popularity right now if they had just kept them separate from each other. And then when Bryan got hurt, they would have to go to Reigns, but he wouldn't have that tainted corporate pushed loser effect that he has on him right now, and he would just be loved by everybody because he's getting such a great reaction from the Shield. But it's like putting up The Rock against Austin. It's the age-old Rock Austin debate is every time that Rock was out on his own, people loved him. Didn't matter who he's fighting. The moment they put him against Austin, everybody hates The Rock. Everybody, because Austin was more popular. So why would you ever think of putting the guy who's number 2 against the guy that's number 1 and tainting the crap out of his character? That's what they did. They're still trying to fix it. So just keep him
Still trying
separate.
to fix it. And he's still not over. He's still messed up.
No, he's still messed up. I think he's gonna get there though. I think by Mania
so, too.
he'll beat something.
And be honest with you,
Do you normally lie to me?
yeah, of course I do. I think it's going to be a really long time for him to recover from this bullshit.
I do too.
Like a
but
really
I don't
long
say-
time.
I don't think he'll be recovered by Mania.
No,
I think
no.
I
A
think
lot of
he'll
it
be
depends
recovered
on what
enough to be
happens.
guy.
So I mean, let's all.
And that
agree.
sucks because
he's
he's
probably
good
going to win the
enough.
title right now, right?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I don't see
Yeah,
why he would.
he's going to win the title right now.
But that's why I'm saying turn him heel.
And honestly, that's what I would do if I were them. I'd give him the title. Who else are you going to give it to? John Cena?
no,
I motherfucker, I wouldn't doubt it.
no, I don't. I don't think
16.
No, they're not even trying that hard on Cena right now.
No, he's gonna get it, but I'm telling you, turn him heel. It would do absolute wonders for him because it gives all of us, the people that still harbor a little resentment from the whole Bryan situation, to get it out of our systems. You finally are allowed to boo the man. But then what happens when somebody is allowed to do something? It basically gets it out of their system, and then they become cool. So like the moment we were allowed to boo Rock, it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to start liking you now because, you know, it was cool to boo you when you were a face, but now that you're a heel, I mean, you're cool as fuck, so I'm going to cheer for you. So I guarantee he will get more over as a heel than he ever has after the Bryan fiasco.
I do agree with that, but I think this thing has set him back so far, and it should not have.
They shouldn't have
I
shitty
agree, but it's not the fans' part. It's the booking's fault.
Uh-huh. blame Vince McMahon, and also blame him for making Roman Reigns incite Superman.
The fact that the fans didn't like it really hurt it in the fans' eyes. Yes, I agree with what you're saying, but you realize that's what you're saying.
No,
what you're saying
I know,
but the fact that the fans didn't like it is really hurt him in the fans' eyes.
And the thing is,
that's what you're saying.
Yes, I am saying that, but I don't think it was booked as bad as everybody says it was.
God, it's some of the
but if everyone says this, that means it was bad.
Yeah. It's kind of universal logic. I mean,
what does that mean? Does that mean I'm like,
you're
what
in
does
the
that
minority.
mean for me? But what? Like, I don't understand.
So in conclusion, Rey Mysterio is the
my
world champion of all time.
That was good.
Oh,
that was good.
You peanut.
It's good. No, it's like saying that, like, The Room, right? Like a movie with a 1% of Rotten Tomatoes. You're the guy that goes, I actually think that it was well written and well acted. So everybody else, the 99% that hated it, they're wrong. It's good. No, I mean, you're wrong.
But I legitimately believe what I'm saying. I'm not like bullshitting you guys.
No, I get it. I get it.
What does that mean about me? Well, that's weird. I don't understand.
You really don't like Daniel Bryan. I mean, I'm going to say bottom line. I know you say you I don't mind him. I think Rab and I agree. You really don't like Daniel Bryan, and that's what it's down to.
You don't like him.
I
don't like him.
Am not a Daniel Bryan fan, but I do not.
It gets more and more negative.
I do not dislike Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, but you didn't.
But
like
I'm not.
When it comes
You offered him like a steak and a beer, and he's like, "I don't drink beer, I don't eat steak." and you,
yeah,
and then he took your girl, and now you don't like Daniel Bryan.
He wrestled your dad as a rookie. He rolled through your territory, and he like treated your dad like crap, and you were like, "I'm never gonna forgive you, Bryan Danielson."
I do have a history with him, but
yes,
I'm not gonna go into that debate.
Now you have to go into it.
I'm not going to go very far.
Well, I mean, either way, wow, we ranted on that one a while, but that feels good, though. It feels good to talk about...
In CZW in, like, 2006, you know.
It was 2010, I believe, or 9. Was 9, 8, 9, one of those years, yeah.
Was it when he got released and was doing his little indie roundabout? Did he piss off somebody in your area?
Oh, it was when he was still at the Ring of Honor. He was still at the Ring.
Okay.
No. He didn't piss off anybody. No.
No, because everyone loves him.
No, Rab, we cannot end this until we hear what heat Bomber has.
I don't think that's the thing. Unfortunately, I don't have really that much. I've just never been a fan of his.
God damn it. So the entire angle, it was amazing, and every single fan was wrong because you just didn't like Daniel Bryan.
I never said amazing. I think the match, from what I remember watching, the match, I believe, was decent. I didn't say it was great. It wasn't good. It wasn't.
It's not about the match.
Yeah, it's about the booking.
Not about the match. And it's the same thing I said from before. No, these things aren't about the match.
Just to change focus, because I imagine we're almost done. We've been doing this for like 2 hours. Yeah. It's been fun, though. I'm having a great time. Have you heard the rumored opponents for Undertaker at Mania now?
Is it not Bray Wyatt again? Isn't he going to kidnap Undertaker like 4 more times before?
Well, one I shit you not was Brock Lesnar. That was on the list. Meltzer came out, and he's one of the big like dirt sheet guys, and he's a big guy. But the one was Lesnar, and I'm like, well, now that's probably.
Did you say Mezzer?
Meltzer.
I've never heard of this guy.
Shut up.
Sure.
Yeah. Bomber, do you know?
Please explain to me for some more who Dave Meltzer is.
Okay, Bomber, do you know that I actually saw Dave Meltzer several times at PWG in person? That was pretty cool. Little like smarky mark moment of my own. But so Brock Lesnar was one. Another rumored one basically the one that is the absolute worst idea ever. It was the new Wyatt.
What? Braun Strowman?
Can you imagine? That's one of the rumored people that they.
To
be fair, that'd be pretty par for the course for most.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
WrestleMania matches.
And
I
the
mean,
scary thing
most
is that,
WrestleMania matches is like versus like the Big Show and like I think the A Train one time. And
yeah. The scary thing too is the fact that he said that before the Brock match. So there was no interaction with the Wyatts. So then the Wyatts, the moment they came out after that match, the Hell in a Cell match, I'm sitting there thinking like, oh yeah, they're gonna redo like Bray Wyatt versus Taker. And then a moment later I go, oh my god, what if they just have him and Wyatt do like a normal match and then like Mania? This is all to build up Braun Strowman.
Good God.
That's the rumor. So that makes me laugh. Although I think they're definitely doing Brock and Rock. I can't see any way that they don't, other than maybe Reigns and Lesnar. But apparently that buy rate is the first Mania they've lost money on in like ever. So I don't know if they'll do that main event again. Brock and Rock I'm fine with. It kind of sucks the two part-timers are going to get the main event again. But at least it's a spectacle.
Well, I would hope it wouldn't be the main event. Like Brock and
I think I guarantee
not the main event.
if they
would
fight,
be the main event.
It's main event. Yeah, they'll go on last. I guarantee they'll go on main event last because that's the big match. They don't have anything else. Like what other matches could
I
there
guess
be?
that's true.
I guess
Cena Rock was on last. Yeah.
Yeah, Undertaker and Cena was one of the other rumored potential matches because it's in Texas. So they were talking about how that would be Taker's hometown. They could still get some heat, but they lost their chance on that one once the streak was broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad.
Because
But yeah.
guess what? Yeah, because they shouldn't have fucking broke it. But that's just me being wrong again, right?
Yeah, you're wrong for sure.
No, I mean I think a lot of people also agree with that. But
I think you guys are the minority on that one.
On which one?
On
No,
Undertaker's streak should have ended.
I think it's funny how people have gone through like the stages of death, like grieving before you die. With that,
that's exactly what happened.
yeah.
First you go, wait, like Dusty's gonna come out and go, no, brother.
Dusty finished.
Dusty himself is gonna come out. Nah, brother. Ring the bell again. The match has been started.
Yeah, did you see you restarted? Sounded like retarded.
It was Dusty.
Yeah, it was Dusty. Yeah, I like it's totally the 7 steps of denial or whatever the hell it is.
That was my first thing. It was like, okay, wait, what happens now? Like, someone's gonna come out, and we're gonna see that like there was a fast count, and also his shoulder was slightly up, and none of it ever happened. So then you move on to, oh no, this is the stupidest, worst fucking. I can't believe I'm gonna throw something into my television.
I had the best moment. One of our guys, our friend's name is Hobo Brown, is our nickname for him because he always dressed like a homeless person. But when he hit the second F5 on Taker and Taker kicked out, there was right after that kick out, he looked at me and he went, "Yeah, he's gonna lose." And we're like, "Well, yeah, Brock's gonna lose." And he's like, "No, I'm right now." He's like, "I am 100% positive that Undertaker is losing this match based off of the kick out on that F5." I'm like, you can't be serious." And so then he gets him up for the F5, and I'm like, my friend, he wasn't even watching the screen. He looked at me. He just looked at me. He went, "This is it. This is the 3 count." And so he hits it, and there's that 1, 2, and it goes 3, and he just stands up and goes, "I told you." He called it. He knew. Like, I think he figured it out, because if you watch the match again, the way Taker kicked out of the second one, like the way it was designed to make him look powerful for when he lost. So he kicked out of 2 F5s, and then he was put down by the third one. Usually you're not going to kick out of 2 F5s unless you're going to beat the guy, or 2 finishers, unless the guy's going to beat you, afterwards. So, yeah, by design, like it was designed to make Taker look good in loss, but oh my god, that moment. I mean, that's probably the last time that I think I'll ever have a out-of-body experience with professional wrestling ever again. Like I was in such utter disbelief. It was so good. So fucking
See, okay, so I have direct quotes of what I said that day because my wife was next to me, and once it happened, started live tweeting my reaction. So literally, I was just looking at the screen, just saying, "What the fuck are you talking about? Whose idea was this? 21-1. What the fuck? Whose idea was this?"
I mean, you knew who it was.
Everything I know is a lie.
Yeah, it was so good though. It all worked out. In my opinion, it was one of the best handled ending that it could have possibly been to the streak, because he had to lose. I mean, that's something we didn't even talk about. Like, we keep prolonging it. We have a lot. I think this is going to be a longer one because it's been like 2.5 years.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
But he had to lose it, Bomber. Like, you can't build it up. He had to lose. That's like Bret Hart leaving WWF and not putting over Shawn.
Tell me
you're an
why,
asshole.
though.
Because you have to lose. That's
No, it's the streak. It's bigger than everything in the company, literally.
Yeah, and so that's why it has the biggest payoff when he loses it.
I mean, what the fuck? 21-1. No. I'm still reading my wife live tweeting me. The reaction that I had after this.
I mean, Rab made a good point.
It was perfect.
It single-handedly made Lesnar. Everybody forgot about Lesnar losing to Cena and losing to Triple H. Like for a year, it carried him.
It did. It would have carried anybody. It would carry anybody who would have done it.
No, I don't think so. Like, say Wade Barrett wins it, and they're serious about pushing him. The odds of them.
Wade Barrett would have been shot in the parking lot if he would have beat Taker.
No, but here's the thing I'm saying. Who else do you think could have possibly done it? Like if you had to somebody like a Cena, I think was a possibility.
Cena, maybe, yes. But as I already said, nobody. If anybody was going to do it, it would have been Brock. But it should not have been anybody. The streak was fucking sacred.
The only
the one thing in the company,
and that's why it was
perfect to destroy.
And maybe it's because
okay.
I know, and Zion said it's going to be our last out of body experience. We're never going to have that again.
Okay,
so
it's worth it. It was worth sacrificing.
No fucking way. What was worth the 1 year awesome run of Brock? Is that what it was worth?
No, the moment. The moment.
I'll
remember that moment till the day I'm dead. The day I'm dead. I remember how I feel. Like
me apparently shouting at the TV, going no.
Yeah.
100% worth it.
It was, and this is gonna sound really like just evil, but it's the same way I felt when I remember I woke up in high school and I was brushing my teeth to go to school, and my mom walked up and was like, "The towers were hit by planes and they went down and a lot of people died," but like in a positive way. Again, it's a weird example, but it's like I stepped out of my body for a moment. I was like, that is not something that could happen. Like how did this happen? And I'm sitting there going through the steps of like, yeah, Dusty's coming out. Vince is coming out. Like, he kicked out and they didn't see it. It was just a moment that I will remember till the day I die. Like, I'm going to be on my deathbed, and that's probably one of my favorite wrestling moments of all time.
It's easily one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
It was worth it. That means to me, it means it's worth
why.
it.
That's exactly why it's worth it, because, but for that moment, 75,000 people there and, millions around the world were having an existential crisis at the same time.
My favorite thing is to watch the crowd the moment the 3 count goes down.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it so many times.
Yeah.
That one black dude with the huge eyes right there in the front.
That's not even my favorite one. There's a white.
No, there's a guy with a tiny face. There's a guy. If you go back and watch it, there's a guy who has a tiny face. Guy
they watch. There's a white guy with these bros, like these white guys, and he just puts his arms up, but he's not like holding his head. He's got his hands next to his head. Who puts their arms up and doesn't grab their head.
And he's just looking around. And
he's looking around like he's waiting
with
for
his hands up next to his head, like he's Ricky Bobby or some shit.
Oh my god!
He doesn't know where to put them.
Yeah, it was.
Yes. Clearly, we've all watched it many times.
Yes. I have the network for that moment. I will go on the network and I will skip to the end of the match because it was an awful match just to see that moment.
The match was bad. That's true.
It's one of the worst he's ever had at Mania. But I mean, it wasn't his fault. They proved they can have a good match. He was in bad shape and he had the concussion. So
he had a concussion. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
100% worth it. 100% worth it. It was perfect. It was perfect. Remember that?
I mean, you guys are. Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of points you're making. I do agree.
I don't think you've agreed with a single one today.
No, I agree. I will not agree on.
The one thing he disagrees is the worth it part. He agrees that all of that was amazing, and that it was a great moment.
It was.
He just doesn't agree that it was worth the.
I'm sorry.
I completely understand. I felt like that for like a week.
Yeah, me too.
So you're saying I haven't just moved on yet after a year?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I remember being in that mind frame. I just moved on from it.
I'm not mad at it.
Eventually, I was like, I just mean like for me, eventually it was like, man, maybe it was worth that feeling. And just, so I remember when I thought it wasn't. And I'm not saying that means that, you need to get over it or you should have. I just mean, like, I can totally see where you were because I was there.
Yeah.
And see, I would ask Peanut, but he would probably be like, "What? Undertaker lost? What?"
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I'm hoping he defends the streak this year.
He's like 19-0, right?
Yeah.
Though I am the same person who once argued on this podcast that Undertaker, like, I just don't want to see those matches anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done.
Well, I mean, Triple H started to push the limits of those being fun matches anymore.
Though
Because
that's
nothing-
and Sean.
the second Triple H match was fantastic.
And Sean.
Yeah.
It was
Him
amazing.
and Sean were great.
Amazing.
I just started getting tired of the.
Oh yeah, but it's boring.
Yeah,
He was
because I knew
boring.
he was always going to win, so it ruined it for me. Because you
So I
always
wanted him to retire.
But that's why it made Brock's win even better. Because I was confident 100. Like my prediction video is amazing. Because I didn't even review the feud. I just simply said, yeah, Undertaker's going to win, and I moved on to the next match. That's the interest I had in that match. I had none. So yeah,
Super
best
boring.
possible outcome.
I had no interest in it. Super boring. I was just bored of those matches because it didn't matter.
I did not suspect you guys to be so passionate about Brock beating Taker. That's
He was good.
surprising to me.
Great.
It's
The
one
only
of the best
person that
things-
should have
it's one
done
of the
it
best things to
instead
happen in the
was
last 10 years.
they should have had Cena versus Undertaker before and then done it. But that would have been, I still argue, the best, or at least the best reaction to a match ever. I think it would have topped Hogan and Rock when they faced off. If they had done Cena with the
Yes.
title versus Undertaker's streak, that's another situation where they walked into Raw and the wall was coated with paint that said, "Put Cena versus Undertaker at WrestleMania," and they were like, "Nah, we don't like money."
What
And
year,
they
what year
just
would that have
didn't
been?
do it. I mean, Cena
Like
apparently was the
2006?
reason they didn't do it. Cena said no.
Said he didn't want to do it, right?
He didn't
What
wanna
Probably
year-
because they had him to win.
Yeah,
Yes,
no.
They had,
They had him to lose. He didn't want to be in the basically he didn't want to be a part of the guys that have lost to Taker. I think is what it ended up coming out to. So I think that was what it ended up being, at least from
what year would that have been? That would have been like 2006.
there was one year where they were really close to doing it, and then at last minute they turned it away, and whatever they went with. I think maybe it was the year. No, I don't think it was that. I was going to say the year they did Henry and Undertaker, but that was HBK.
That was a good match, by the way.
And they were going to. Oh my God! Shut up. That was when they were going to do Triple H and Cena too, and then Triple H got hurt, so they didn't have a choice. But oh my God, just great moment. But I
That's
still
the one
say,
time the streak should have ended, other than Brock.
Cena,
Mark Henry.
Undertaker.
No, Mark Henry.
Yeah, right? Imagine if it had ended in like a fart to somebody like Braun Strowman pins The Undertaker. Oh my God. And then he's fired the next year. Or Great Khali ends the streak. Ugh.
Man, there have been
Yeah,
some
Brock, thank
bad-
God. Yeah, Brock won, and in my opinion, Brock losing or being the one that wins and beats the streak solidifies the streak as the greatest thing of all time in WrestleMania.
Oh, it was.
Because he lost it to see it came full circle, and he lost it to the perfect person.
It would have already been the best. It was. It
No,
was
I think it
already
was
before
already-
that.
I'm with Rab though. I was getting bored.
It got boring. It
Yeah.
got boring.
It should have ended. Like they should have stopped doing it. He should have
He should have
fucking
retired.
retired long ago.
And he wants to still wrestle. So
I think we're all in agreement. He should not fucking.
no, actually, I think his recent matches with Brock have turned me around on him a little bit.
Oh, I did love it. His Hell in a Cell match was great.
Yeah, and I liked SummerSlam. I hated the finish, but I loved the match. I thought the match was a lot of fun. So he's doing what I think he should be doing right now, and he's going to hopefully just start to put over younger people. Not all the time,
Yeah, 'cause
but
that's the other
Bray
thing I
better
was
get
gonna
a
say.
goddamn win against him because Bray needs that fucking victory so bad. At least like the Survivor Series. Have him win the Survivor Series match, and then have Taker win like the singles match. But he needs some victories.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This is a pleasure, guys. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we should start. Yeah, we should wrap this one up. We've
It was like 2 hours.
yeah. Oh, it wasn't a full 2 hours. I don't think.
We're at
No, it's a
2
go out.
hours and
Well,
14
yeah,
minutes.
but we fucked around for like a lot. before
I
we
had started recording the moment that we started talking.
Oh.
So
Okay,
2
now-
hours
Oh.
and 15 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah. So long.
Well, it's okay though. I mean, we're
No, I
no
like
longer
this.
we're no longer
our
having any
podcasts are
restraints. or
generally
anything.
super long.
So we're looking
I mean,
to
we
do
went
this.
we went over time back when we were on that like shitty network. Like,
No,
but-
we were on. We did an hour each
It
time.
was an hour. Yeah, it was an hour.
no, we went over time.
Uh,
I think we were pretty good at shutting it down, actually, from what I remember. I can
Peanut
settle
was the wrangler.
Hold on.
I might have just remembered the one time that Peanut wasn't there and I was in charge.
Yeah, that was.
We look at times. I can look them up. Yeah, no, we were excellent. We only had one show go over that I uploaded, and it went over by 10 minutes, and that was it. All the other ones hit
That was
an
the
hour.
WrestleMania one, right? Probably.
Yeah, it's WrestleMania Fallout, because I was
Yeah.
probably really upset about Cena and Rock being terrible.
Yeah.
Am I just forgetting because
Yeah.
we would actually shut it down afterwards and keep going?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. We were just talking. But
But-
how often do you guys want to do this? Were we talking every 2 to 3 weeks, or what's happening with this?
I
This
think
makes sense about right.
bi-weekly, right? Yeah, same as before.
All right, sounds good. Well, it's a pleasure. You got to take the reins now, though, Bomber. You got to take it out.
Well, first of all, Peanut, are you still there? Just wondering.
What a trooper if he is. I don't know.
I hope so.
I mean, he's still logged on Skype.
He is.
I think he just muted it and walked away and took a shit. Or he's fighting some Iranians that
Well,
threw some grenades at his convoy.
So usually now is the time for the plugs. Me and Matt Zion already did ours. Rab, you have anything?
If you guys could go to youtube.com/user/Wreckless Eating.
Jesus Christ. Well, you know what? Sounds good to me.
youtube.com/user/Wreckless Eating. Does that still work? That's the one?
Thank you so much for tuning in to Jobber Radio. I was your host, Peanut,
I was your host.
and we will see you guys next time. Take care.
Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio.